Hi everyone, it's me. I am here live. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Want to make sure everything is fine. I should see my stream settings. I can bump the bitrate up. Should be able to bump the bitrate up a little bit. $6,800. I'm not gonna do that, but I'll do like. See if that works. No, it works. Let's try bumping up to 6,800. Sorry, I just realized I have not changed my stream settings at all in a hot minute, and apparently I have been below YouTube's recommended thing by like 5,000 kilobytes per second, but my internet can totally handle it, so I just bumped everything up, so it should be good. Let me know if everything's coming in clean and clear. Yes, it is me, the CEO of Gamergate 2. I'm back. I know it's been a couple of months. I've been life's been busy. All I'll say is that life's been busy, but in a good way. No bad issues. Just had to take a break from the internet, essentially. But things are going good. I hope everyone here is, he's here in real life on RPC. Yes, real life. It's true. I hope everyone's having a good night tonight. You know, hope everyone's doing good. Let me know if there's any audio or video issues. I've been a bit busy. I've been away from the streaming, and I don't have the time. I don't have it anymore. Some may even say that I don't got the Riz. I don't got the Riz anymore. I am worried about streaming this. I don't know if it'll go well. I'm a bit worried about, copyright stuff, because I don't believe this is, I believe it's a televised event. We're going to be streaming the dub stream. I don't know if anyone else... I can provide a link to this if you want to watch longer. I'll try and stream it, but if I start getting copyright stuff, the stream might go down. So, it is what it is, though. It is what it is, right? I feel like this should be something that you should be able to, publicly react to, though. I don't know why. I guess it is televised. They have the right to, televise it and you watch it on their television station, but this just feels like something that you should be watching. I'm going to be watching the Newsmax broadcast, I believe, is streaming this. Let's see. Simulcast preview and post-debate analysis. Yeah, we'll watch on the newscast, the Newsmax YouTube channel. That should be fine. What I call that jumper drop the N-word with the hard R, like back in the Tom Green days. Well, you won't be the first one to drop that word on here, but we're gonna wait a little bit. I might go into it later tonight, but I don't want to drop my payload. It's not even I'm afraid to say it. I'm not afraid to say it. In fact, I will say it, but I'm not ready to do it right now. Yeah, it's been good to be back. And I am doing well, Life's been busy. I have to say, we're back, though. I'm very happy to be back streaming and back on the internet. I will be doing some more videos, hopefully soon. Some more movie reviews and all that, which you have known me for, but I will be back doing that soon. It just had to stop. I had to take a break. Yeah, site's been kind of on the down low, too. I'm sure people have noticed that the TV channel, the website TV channel, been a bit down on there. I haven't been as active. I should maybe be more active, but we will see. I'm trying to get back and moderate more. I do. I had to unban someone. Hold up. But yeah, no, things are going great. How's everyone in the chat doing? Let's see who we have here tonight. Turn on the live chat. Participants today, we got 900T16, Archangel Michael, Arc Royal, Interdimensional Lizard, the Italian Knights, and Who Cares? All great friends here in the chat, all here chatting. Say hello, everyone, if you are here. But yeah, we're gonna be watching the presidential debate tonight. Obviously, I did finally come back from the Sorales for Minecraft. I am back, Mr. Penguin. I am back. The Penguin, you know, they made the Penguin in Batman, they made her into a girl, Alistair. They made her into a girl, and I don't know what you're gonna do, because you were the Penguin, and now the Penguin's a girl, so have you gone trans? Have you tuned out? It's the real question. Where is Wrist? I don't have anyone in the voice chat, but I will try and get people. We're trying to wake him up. Apparently. We'll get Weasel on. Weasel's here. Hey everyone, Weasel's here. Weasel was the main guy who wanted me to do this tonight. Weasel, how's it going?
Hey, give me a second. Let me just mute the stream here. No, yeah, we're on the Momala train. Are we ready? Are we ready for the debate of the century? Can Dup score the 2-0, or is Momala gonna be running the country? Even notorious Jew Nate Silver. This debate's gonna be what shapes the election results.
Juice to Surfer. My money on the debate tonight. I don't know. I could see it going either way. Dup has been showing some signs of weakness. He didn't stomp Biden as good as I want. He did essentially kick Biden out of the race with that debate he did against him, but I don't think he's as sure of a win.
Yeah, that's probably what they're going to tell him this time too, right? To not go too hard because you don't want to be seen to be beating up a woman, even though it's kind of based. But,
yeah, know. Surfer is betting money. He's betting $1 Canadian, which is equivalent to about one US pile of rocks.
Honestly, I could see it just being a walk where both of them perform kind of mediocre to bad, and it just comes down to who's already ahead, which is probably Dup. But
the finasteride is not working. It's just what my hair looks like when it's short. I just need to have it short and I don't look so bad, thankfully. Should I turn my volume a bit? There should be a dial on your mic for it. Yeah, I will turn up. I don't actually have a dial on my mic. I've got an audio mixer here, but I will bring my gain up just a bit. That should be better? Better for you guys? Yeah, that looks better. Audio, the peak.
So have we figured out how the hell this thing is even being broadcast? You know what? I'll just quickly Google it.
No, I got a link for you. I got a link for you. It's being simulcast on Newsmax here. You can watch it there. Okay, I'll give you a YouTube link. Okay.
Hey, that's cool. That's cool.
I should also, if people don't want to watch along with me, if you go to the Newsmax YouTube, they're streaming it there. So I would just watch along there.
If you don't want to watch along, why the fuck are you here? I mean, well, maybe to fill the 20 minutes before the stupid debate starts, but
yeah. But yeah, no, it's gonna be exciting. I think the debate's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be a fun time. I think you know what? As long as we all have fun, doesn't matter who wins and loses. I think that's the real answer, folks. As long as we all have fun, that's the most important thing.
I mean, I might be a dirty Euro scum, but you're a fucking American. If Kamala loses, like, this is pretty dire straits for America. Like, I mean, you're already seeing it like, turn into this kind of banana republic, sort of Brazil state. Like,
let's not kid ourselves.
It's going to keep plummeting. It keeps running it. I mean,
let's not kid ourselves. Weasel. If Kamala wins, it's bad for Europe too. It's bad for the whole world, right? As much as Europeans try to like say they're independent, so much of your national security and how things occur in Europe is due to like America has going on. There's no way there would be Coach Absolutely. Red Pill would still be alive today if Trump had won in 2020, right? Like that's a fact.
But
there would be no war in Ukraine.
If anything is going to spur Europe into actually providing its own security again, it's going to be that its main protector starts getting weak and is like, oh shit, we have to do something, or we're literally just going to get fucking butt raped by the Russians in 10 years.
Yeah. Donnie Dup is toast. I think Mundane Matt is saying that Donald Trump is toast, so I'm on Team Monday. Mundane Matt is usually right about most things. I think that's all I'm gonna say.
It's true. He's a smart guy. We love our
Very smart, intelligent man.
Hey, you know, if we can't get JMK for the actual election stream, maybe we should try to get Mundane Matt if he's not already occupied. He could be the voice of reason that JMK was last time.
We should try getting Mundane Matt. I can't. He will not talk to me because he has me blocked. Maybe you should message him and get him on. Holy Just, yeah, it's Just. Kamala is impossible to BT follow because there's no way
I
to
might
put
have to
Dup into
reach
her
out for the
name.
crowd connection.
I think you will find that Kamama Lama da Dup actually can be very easily dubbed Kamama Dup. Kamama Lama Daba Dup.
Dapala? No, that's
Dupmala. Dapala. Apologize.
I like Momala better. I mean, she's always going to be Momala. You can't really work Dup into Hillary Clinton either. It doesn't really work
when
with women.
Hill Dog is a better candidate than Kamalto, it's it's tough. Kamala. I will just say that.
I like that one. That was good.
Dupala. I will just say this, okay? I think, regardless of this, I think this debate, I think the only way this Dup loses this election is if Kamala completely transcends this debate. The problem is that she's like, the only thing I can see is that maybe she's saving like this debate tonight to be like the spot where she like reveals all of her policies, because she's only like barely grazed all of them. Maybe she's like, saving them to tonight to start making promises and say, hey, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. Right? Because most Americans, they don't really follow the election cycle. They like watch the debate and then they vote. They don't really follow most of this shit. Right? They watch the convention, they watch the debate, and that's it.
How can she release all her policies when the entire point of not releasing her policies is to try to walk a fine line between the radicals and the centrist leftists? And she doesn't want to like commit to either one because they'll know the other one won't vote for her. Which is why you're seeing what she's doing now, which is just running away and.
Just as
I mean, I don't know. Maybe she's gonna use some Zoomer shit. Like maybe she's gonna like accuse him of being racist in a very, very hip sort of way.
Yeah.
Like it could be.
Just as Abe moved the bullet for Trump,
has, right?
CRP will have his hand on moving destruction towards Kamala. You'll know it when you see it. Big ups, Ghost Red Pill. Ghost Red Pill! I have to say, we love Ghost Red Pill. We want him back. We love Ghost Red Pill.
Oh, man. God, just imagine if we get coached for the election stream. It'd be amazing.
If we get we should get on a Ouija board and call on the ghost of Ghost Red Pill to have like we get a seance of him. But no, for everyone who doesn't know, I do an election stream almost every election at this point now, and we're doing one for this year. Obviously, we're doing one, and we will hopefully have some guests. I want to get Leo Pirate on. I think Leo Pirate, if we can get him on, would be fun.
I've been talking to him a bit. That should be doable.
Yeah,
at least I'm gonna see. Oh wait, I think Risk is calling me. Okay. Risk is coming in. Risk coming in hot. I'm telling him to get in the call in.
Yeah. Ghost Gonzo. Ghost Gonzo. He's gone. I'm Gonzo and Ghost. Like Danny Phantom. But here's what I think.
I told Rick. He'll get with us. He'll get with us.
Here he is. He's in the channel. Risk. We have Risk here. We have the trio, the Holy Trinity. Risk, Weasel, and Goal. You're live.
Yeah. Hello. Let me pull up the chat. I have important news from the front lines of the election today. Bolsend recently interviewed RFK, and you'll be happy to know this, everyone. RFK has been informed of the existence of the Costco guys. They made a mention about the Rizzler.
Oh my gosh.
All I'm saying, it's a beautiful augur for Kamala getting BTFO'd. How's the chat, everyone?
Kamala?
He's not.
What do we think of? It's time for the election stream. Boom or doom? Donald Trump going to jail? That's a big doom. Boom.
Doom. No, that's not the right.
That Trump has done since the first one with Hillary, where they were all like, "Oh no, you're being too harsh."
A surprising number of public libraries have Gonzo's make movie night great again owner. Well, Eric W., if you are aware of what those public libraries are, I will drive to them and get that movie. Okay, because as far as I'm aware, I've not been able to find this movie in the United States.
You're gonna let somebody from the internet set up on you like that? Yeah. Because if he tells you where you're going, he's gonna.
Costco guys need to go away. We like the Costco guys.
You need to go away. Holy moly, get out of here.
Hey, Riz, what do you think of the CCP monkey game? What do you think of the CCP monkey game?
It's not a monkey torture video or something? The Black.com the Wukong. Pause. That's kind of, I haven't played it, so.
It's just a basic ass fucking Dark Souls, but with the
Dark
King
Souls,
Monkey
Dark
story.
Souls, Dark Souls.
Mythology.
I hate Dark Souls.
In the
Because
immortal
for
words.
It's the only part of Chinese mythology that they're actually allowed to use without getting banned for, believing in religion.
The real question is,
it's
what's
very-
John Michael
well,
Kelly's
yeah.
take? I don't know. We haven't heard from JMK in forever. As far as I know, he's like dead. I haven't seen him online. He turned trans and then he like disappeared off the internet. I hope we can get him back. Hope he's back in the election stream. John, if you're out there,
Costco guys. Costco guys, boom or doom on every immigrant action. Oh,
the Haitians,
my
they get a
God.
big
Beautiful.
boom.
Thank you, man.
The Somalians,
Well,
that's a
rather
doom.
we are goddamn captain. Our disco.
Be sure to smash that like
fucking
Ramon
beast.
smashes Big Trumbus.
Hey,
Very true.
Coda. Hello, Coda, in the chat. Salute to Big Coda. Salute to, yeah, but, what's Brian's take on this? Bri.
Riz, you are roboting quite
So,
much.
how are
We
we
love
going to play this?
Bri.
Are we just going to rattle over the entire debate, or are we going to try to be
I'm not
quiet
giving you
when
my
they're
zip
speaking?
code, Eric W. No offense. I'm not gonna dox my fucking address, but just if you can find it in some, well, people
Look,
moved
he
to
probably
Florida.
has a legitimate reason
I made a whole
for it,
video
just
about moving to
send
Florida.
me the
I live in
DMs.
Florida, so somewhere in Florida, I will drive anyone in the state of Florida or Georgia or somewhere in the South. I'll go. Okay.
Or Cuba. Gahul will swim to Cuba. Just like Trudeau swam up to Canada from Cuba, okay?
Go away, Riz. I came for go.
Who cares? Go away, Riz. I came.
As if it's an address, but it is. It's as if it's too
My
much. I'll
heart.
give you the state. I'll give you the state. I live in Florida, but I'm not giving you the zip. I just don't think it's right. I don't think it's right, folks. I don't think it's right. Anyways,
He lives in Anti-Kamala town with Ron DeSanctimonious. Okay? Not good, but we like Ron DeSanctimonious. Kind of. I'm sorry, I have to stop with the Duppykins.
Ron Dup. It's Ron Dup Santis now. It's Ron Dup Santis. He's graduated from the Sanctimonious to Dup Santis.
The Patar. The Dup Santis.
Brian Wright will have the best
Beautiful.
taste. If someone sent a message to Brian Dunn, if he wants to come on for the election stream, I'll have you, Brian. In fact, I'd love to have you. We gotta bury the hatchet.
Brian.
We have to bury the hatchet. The
Brian-
HD release.
Yeah,
Donkey Kong Country
Brian
Returns
can come back
is
on
good
and
enough.
call me a
I'll forgive you.
pedophile. Daka
What do you like?
what the? Jesus Christ! I'm just getting raked over the coals here, man. Like, what the? It is what it is.
It is what it is, folks.
You might as
Anyways,
well.
things are going good. I hope everyone's having a good life, having a good time with everything. But I'm excited for this debate, man. I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see some people. I'm excited to see Dup win. I think it's gonna be Dup's night. This is where Dup gets crowned as the new king of America. I think.
Look, the question is, can Kamala, did she actually remember all her lines? Like, she's been like, what, in hiding for like a week or something, to just prep hard, just remember everything, which apparently, according to insider leaks, is not going very well. Because she keeps going on weird tangents and then repeating things in prosy language, which is, doesn't really help anyone and just makes her look like an airhead.
I actually live.
So that's going to be the main thing, I guess. She's going to probably do a bit of rambling like Biden does, or she's going to kind of force herself not to ramble and look kind of awkward because of it.
What's happening with the gun control. I just think that this is our moment. It's about hope. I'm the first woman president. Dup is going to win, but they're going to claim Dup lost. All the news stations will claim that Dup lost, but Dup is actually going to win. That's the truth.
Oh.
Well, yeah, whatever way. I mean, she's gonna pull out like the rape card or something. Like, you're a convicted rapist because in New York.
Convicted rape
And
card.
that's maybe that'll be something that they can play in the media. Like, she called out the rapist. Get on there, you young folks. Vote for Mamala.
I think are we? Is it Mommy Kamala or is it Duppy Dawn? Right? Is it Daddy Dup or Mommy Kamala? That's the real thing. You're voting for your mom or your dad this election.
What the?
And I'm voting for my dad this time. I think my dad's gonna win.
Yeah.
He's America's father. I'm daddy for everyone in this country. Okay. So
Like, I
simple.
mean, even the fucking polls have Kamala behind, right? I mean, if even the polls have her behind, something is really fucked because Dup's always performed like what 2 to 4% better than he actually is polled at.
Yeah, and if he's pulling ahead right now,
That is true.
Because people get ashamed to say they like Trump. They'll vote for him on election day, but they won't like say it in polls. But he'll actually will like do significantly better. If he's pulling ahead, there's a really good chance he'll do really well. Obviously, the main thing is though, this election, it's real. People have been saying on Twitter, it's real. It's gonna come down to one vote. Yours. You gotta go out. If you live in America, you gotta vote. Risk, you have to vote this time. You gotta do it. I believe in you. We all have to vote for Dup. It's the only way we're gonna
That's a little cringe, but I am gonna accept it. I guess it's a little cringe, but it's okay.
The New York
I just
had Dup ahead of Kamal.
I'm not in a.
Dup by one. It's Jover. All I'm saying is, I think that this is a good chance for our good friend Donald Trump.
No, go ahead.
I think Donald Dup. This is his last ride. I don't think he's running. If he loses this, I don't think he'd run again in 2028. This is his last chance. I think because I don't think he'll have that. I don't think he'll have longevity.
Oh man, you're remarkable, Mr. Hooligan. Like there's gonna be another election after this one, brother.
Yeah, there will be risk.
Dude, like what do you?
I don't think you understand that nothing ever happens. The sun will rise tomorrow and it'll set the day after that, and it will continue to do so until the end of time. And we're gonna be voting. It's gonna be elections. There'll be a president, and it's just how the things will work. I'll vote to make.
Which one is the accelerationist vote?
I don't know. I actually don't know. That's a good question.
What is Surfer? What the hell? Is that actually Surfer? I have not been playing that Homo Evolution on YouTube. This is just I'm getting pilloried. I didn't realize this would be my struggle session.
Yeah, man, you need some stuff.
It's me versus the hooligan.
You have some stuff to answer to. You have some crimes to answer for, and maybe people won't forgive you anymore. I mean, yeah, that's how things were gonna go. Maybe why'd you? I'm just all I'm gonna say. Maybe you.
Why'd I what? No one's gonna like. I don't even get to. I'm getting railroaded. They're railroading me. It's so sad. Okay, they're gonna call me a convict, but the only I'm convicted of is being kind of okay.
I think.
Sadness.
I think Trump's.
But no, Surfer, I have not been playing Homo Evolution, brother.
I hope Robert F. Kennedy Jr. becomes,
But then what will happen?
I hope RFK. I hope he becomes the Secretary of State, and then they kill Trump in advance, and Robert F. Kennedy becomes the president through that way. He's gonna like use the CIA to kill him, like they killed his grandfather. Like they killed John F. Kennedy. It's gonna be like back in the day, but he's gonna like take revenge. I'm voting for.
Turnabout is fair play.
Lambright. Well, the stream's just the debate's supposed to start in about 5 minutes. So
Trump as Mr. House. Wait.
I'm sorry, my fancy and consort walked in. Of course, not everyone here.
Why is there a Surfer? Why is this game called like? How did you find this, Surfer?
Chris, did you start playing Homo Evolution on YouTube because Surfer told you to? Are you serious, man?
No, Surfer just sent me. This is entrapment. This is like substantial entrapment. Okay. Yeah, I don't have an iota. I don't have an iota of alcohol. I don't have a drop in me. This maybe is the problem. Maybe I would have gotten sidewinded if I had channeled the spirits.
Well,
Lambright.
Wayne Lambright, yeah, Wayne Lambright, the great Wayne Lambright from just like the great Snacks, Snacks, PvP's pedophile Satanist girlfriend. She was a big Wayne Lambright guy, whatever.
Ooh.
Deus
That's how you know it's quality.
Well, Ralph and Fuentes.
Of course, Surfer has a gay game.
Fuentes is turned traitor. He's not stayed loyal to Dup, and as such, he will not get a cabinet position. In fact, Fuentes is gonna get stuffed in a cabinet because that's how tiny he is. He can just close it, and then he won't come out anymore. No more.
But what if he's already in a cabinet, huh?
Yeah. The alpha male, of course, will make a comeback. He'll be fine.
Of course.
I'm
Is Risk voting for Vermin Supreme? I've left my something awful phase. I do apologize, Mr. King's Kino Archive number 2.
My main.
I'm not When Lotax put the lead in his own head, in Kayonka's head.
4 more minutes. I'm excited.
Jill's time. No. I'm chilling for
man.
Jill. Hashtag. Holy moly, jilling for Jill. That's the wrist way. So simple. That's what Jill does. Okay. Bless you, fat weasel. Fat bitch.
Honestly, Jill Biden is probably more qualified to run the country than Mabala. I mean, fuck.
And Mabala.
I mean, she's basically
Fuentes is still mad about Ye
but...
abandoning him. Like, what did he think was gonna happen? Like, I don't think Fuentes, like, well, I don't know.
Ye.
Okay, so I've got
Arif Farouk. Fallen Adam and Eve.
The Newsmax feed pulled up here, so we have this, and we have this woman and this elderly man, and they are talking. Oh, there's this guy who's that guy who's in the meme with the Trump shirt on the plane. That was funny. That was fun stuff.
Anti-Israel protest drove outside his face. Good on them for causing a little riot.
Just. It can't do anything without the damn Jews getting involved somehow.
Look at them Antifa looking motherfuckers like Black Lives Matter and shit.
Hey,
why are all
Zachary, let's not
against Israel? Why do they care?
They're ISUPK brothers. We are not Hamites. They got the order from General Tazikiak, or whatever the fuck his name is. You know, to assemble. Tazaria, whatever the fuck his name is. The one that Ralph always interviews, mysteriously.
Yeah.
We need Jesse Lee Peterson on the stream. We need him to go amazing. Well, I want to hear him talk about Donald Trump. He loved black people. It's amazing. I want Jesse Lee Peterson on the stream.
It's amazing.
I want Richard Spencer and Jesse Lee Peterson. I want them to sing Depeche Mode karaoke, and that'll be the best.
And we can 2016 forever.
If Trump loses new members, it's still part of Q's plan. Well, I will tell you this. Q's plan, which is my plan, because everyone knows I am Q, was me the whole time. It's a mysterious plan. It goes and works in mysterious ways, and I have to say you have to trust the plan. And you have to trust the plan and go with what I'm saying. Okay, all I'm gonna say. I'm
an official plan truster.
If you haven't smashed your phone screen like I told everyone to last night, you're not with it. That's all I'm gonna say. So.
That was a beautiful. Why the hell were you saying such? Well, I mean, it's Q, so it's an esoteric meaning. You know, like snapping your phone. Disengage.
So this is giving me like a little bit.
People still care about Palestine. Who even knows, man? Like, who even can tell?
How partisan is the moderation gonna be? Like, it's what ABC is Disney.
No,
right?
the moderator is literally the moderator. I think is literally Kamala Harris's. Like, she introduced Kamala Harris to her husband. Like, it's a total fucking setup. Like, absolutely.
That was the woman that interviewed her. It's not the debate moderator, but I might be wrong.
Oh well, maybe. I'm spreading misinformation, and it's beautiful.
Well,
that's a nasty name. We're spreading misinformation.
Political nonsense.
There'll be a little disclaimer that pops up under Google's YouTube account.
Always a pleasure to have you.
Enjoy the show, boys. Enjoy the show. The debate is starting.
Fact check.
If you want to watch along with me, you should probably pull up your own copy of it on your YouTube. Rest in Weasel.
I will be doing such a thing. Okay, yeah. Let's take a gander at the link in the chat. Trump is being airdropped in like fucking like a Metal Gear. Okay, Metal Gear Duppykins. Yeah.
presidential debate. He is
He
still
got ahead.
Where is
held
the
the
motherfucker?
nation's
I'm
highest office.
behind the
He
whole
has been a
debate.
leader of the free world. He has a record to run on.
Hold
And
the
when she goes into her
line.
record,
Trump,
there's only
Harris,
so
the
many
debates
places to go.
on Invidious.
It
And
looks
they're
like
not good.
yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
I thought we were on
Donald Trump,
the
trying
Newsmax
to,
channel, right?
basically mark what it would be the greatest political comeback in American history.
I'm
Somebody
finding
who
something.
just about 4 years
So-
ago, after January 6th was considered done politically, he's come back, won the GOP nomination, and now trying to win the presidency. Let's go live
Live
to
in
the
the
debate.
debate. Here we go.
Live debate.
Talking.
Their first face-to-face meeting in this presidential election. Their first face-to-face meeting ever.
A historic race for president just weeks ago. President Biden withdrawing after his last debate. Donald Trump now up against a new opponent.
The candidates separated by the smallest of margins, essentially tied
This
in
is
the
just
polls
me.
nationally.
The audio and video not entirely synced.
Including right here in
Yeah, they're not
Pennsylvania,
synced, but
all
it is
still
what it is.
very much in play. The ABC News
Holy
presidential debate starts right now. Right now.
Probably Newsmax's problem, but whatever.
The most consequential moment of this campaign.
He'll fix it along the way.
We will chart a new way
Oh man.
forward.
Donald Trump,
We will soon be a great nation again.
face to face, historic.
It's a weird one, like me. Obviously, I'm pro-Trump, but I will say I'm not even sure what's more practical for
Good evening, I'm David
Europe.
Muir, and thank you for joining us for tonight's ABC News presidential debate. We want to welcome viewers watching on ABC and around the world tonight. Vice President Kamala Harris and President Donald Trump are just moments away from taking the stage in this unprecedented race for president.
And I'm Lindsay Davis. Tonight's meeting could be the most consequential event of their campaigns, with Election Day now less than 2 months away. For Vice President Kamala Harris, this is her first debate since President Biden withdrew.
All right, boys, get your snacks, get your drinks. Start any moment.
Of course, that decision followed his debate against President Donald Trump.
So you think if Kamala does
this
well,
race
that
has
she's
taken
going to
on
do
an
another
entirely
debate, or is
That brings us
I
it
think this is
over
a
and
pretty
done
good
with?
the only
90
one.
minutes with two
This could
commercial
very well-
breaks. No topics or questions have been shared with the campaigns.
I know
The
Dup was
candidates
talking
will
about
have 2
having
minutes to
more,
answer
but
questions, and this is the clock. That's what they'll be seeing. 2 minutes for
the
rebuttals.
Kamala campaign
and
is
1
very
minute for follow-ups,
focused on
clarifications, or
keeping
responses.
their candidate
Their
contained
microphones
as
will
much
only
as
be turned
possible.
on when it's their turn to speak. No pre-written
Oh
notes.
man, is he going to wear the
There is
bandage?
no
Is he going to
audience
wear the
here
ear
tonight in this
bandage?
hall at the National
Surely
Conference
you
I don't
got
think he has
This is
been.
an intimate setting where two candidates
No?
who have never met.
Is this a visible scar though, like a little wonkiness at the ear to show
Vice
that?
President Harris selected the podium to the right.
So
I
let's
guess
now
we're gonna
welcome
see.
the candidates to the
Here they
stage,
come.
Vice President Kamala Harris and President Donald Trump.
Kamala Harris. Accept the debate.
Thank you.
Welcome to you both. It's wonderful to have you. It's an honor to have you.
Okay,
both
no
here tonight.
bandage.
Good evening. We are looking forward to a spirited and thoughtful debate.
So let's get started. I want to begin tonight with the issue that voters repeatedly say is their number one issue. That is the economy and the cost of living in this country. Vice
Right.
President
Music
Harris, you
over.
and President Trump were elected 4 years ago, and your
The
opponent on the stage
Newsmax.
here tonight often asks his supporters, are you better off than you were 4 years ago?
debate's already
When it
starting.
comes to
They're
the
asking
economy,
Mamala
do you
that
believe
question.
Americans are better off than they were 4 years ago?
So I was raised as a middle-class kid, and I am actually the only person on this stage who has a plan that is about lifting up the middle class and working people of America. I believe in the ambition, the aspirations, the dreams of
already
the American
word
people.
salading.
And that is why I imagine and have
Dude.
actually a plan to build what
I
I
have
call
a
an
plan. I'm
opportunity
just not gonna
economy.
speak about
'Cause
what
here's
that
the
is.
thing. We know that we have a shortage of homes and housing, and the cost of housing
Trump's
is too
internal
expensive
monologue.
for
Holy
unfortunate
shit, it's
people.
so fucking bad.
We
It's
know
so
that young
fucking bad.
families
Jesus
need
Christ,
support
so fucking not so
to
good.
raise their
Okay.
children,
Not so
and
good.
I intend on
Swallowing
extending
like she's got a
a
loogie
tax
stuck
cut
in there
for
or
those
something.
families of $6,000, which is the largest child tax credit that we have given in a
Weird
long time,
interruptions in
so
her
that
speech
those
pattern.
young families can afford to buy a crib, buy a car seat, buy clothes for their children. My passion, one of them, is small businesses. My mother raised my sister and me, but there was a woman who helped raise us. We call her our second mother. She was a small business owner. I love our small businesses. My plan is to give
Oh,
a
I knew a small business
$50,000
owner,
tax
so I love
deduction
them.
to start up small businesses, knowing they are part of the backbone of America's economy.
Okay, so
My opponent, on the other hand, his plan is to do what he has done
she
before.
said nothing.
which
And
is
now
to
we're going
provide a
into the
tax
Dup
cut for
angle.
billionaires and big corporations, which will result in $5 trillion to America's deficit. My opponent has a plan that I call the Trump's sales tax, which would be a 20% tax on everyday goods that you rely on to get through the month. Economists have said that that Trump sales tax would actually result for middle-class families in about $4,000 more a year because of his policies and his ideas about what should be
4,000 more a year.
backs of
That's
middle-class people paying for tax cuts for billionaires.
crazy.
President Trump, I'll give you 2 minutes.
First of all, I have no sales tax. That's an incorrect statement. She knows that. We're doing tariffs on other countries. Other countries are going to
Smooth
finally,
talking.
after 75 years, pay us back for all that we've done for the world. And the tariff will be substantial in some cases. I took in billions and billions of dollars, as you know, from China. In fact, they never took the tariff off because there was so much money they can't. It would totally destroy everything that they've set out to do. They're taking in billions of dollars from China and other places. They've left the tariffs on. When I had it, I had tariffs, and yet I had no inflation. Look, we've had a terrible economy because inflation has, which is really known as a country buster. It breaks up countries. We have inflation like very few people have ever seen before, probably the worst in our nation's history. We were at 21%, but that's being generous because many things are 50, 60, 70, and 80% higher than they were just a few years ago.
That's true.
This has been a disaster for people, for the middle class, but for every class. On top of that, we have millions of people pouring into our country from prisons and jails, from mental institutions and insane asylums.
Look at those stairs. She's rehearsed those.
Jobs that are occupied right now by African Americans and Hispanics, and also unions. Unions are going to be affected very soon. And you see what's happening. You see what's happening with towns throughout the United States. You look at Springfield, Ohio. You look at Aurora in Colorado. They are taking over the towns. They're taking over buildings. They're going in violently. These are the people that she and Biden led into our country, and they're destroying our country. They're dangerous. They're at the highest level of criminality, and we have to get them out. We have to get them out fast. I created one of the greatest economies in the history of our country. I'll do it again and even better.
We are going to get to immigration and border security during this debate, but I would like to let Vice President Harris respond on the economy here.
Well, I would love to. Let's talk about what Donald Trump left us. Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment since the Great Depression. Donald Trump left us the worst public health epidemic in a century. Donald Trump left us the worst attack on our
Dup didn't
democracy
preempt this by already going in. So, oh yeah, it was all because of COVID.
What we have done is clean up Donald Trump's
actually,
mess.
a lot of
the
shit with like the blue states shutting everything down. You know, we shut down California. You're cutting down 30% of the U.S. economy.
From the same old tired
shit, nigga.
A bunch of lies, grievances, and name-calling.
Kings,
What
you
you're
know what
getting here
I do?
tonight is a
Isaac,
detailed
sir.
and dangerous plan called Project 2025
Project
that the
2025.
former president intends on implementing if he were elected again.
Yeah.
I believe very strongly that the American
Very
people
real
want
thing.
a
I'm all for it,
president who
whatever
understands
it
the
is.
importance of bringing us together, knowing we have so much more in common than what separates us. And I pledge to you to be a president for all Americans.
President Trump will give you a minute here to respond.
Number one, I have nothing to do, as you know, and as she knows better than anyone, I have nothing to do with Project 2025. That's out there. I haven't read it. I don't want to read it purposely. I'm not going to read it. This was a group of people that got together. They came up with some ideas, I guess some good, some bad. But it makes no difference. I have nothing to do. Everybody knows I'm an open book. Everybody knows what I'm going to do. Cut taxes very substantially and create a great economy like I did before. We had the greatest economy. We got hit with a pandemic. And the pandemic was not since 1917 where 100 million people died. Has there been anything like it? We did a phenomenal job with the pandemic. We handed them over a country where the economy and where the stock market was higher than it was before the pandemic came in. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. We made ventilators for the entire world. We got gowns, we got masks, we did things that nobody thought possible. And people give me credit for rebuilding the military. They give me credit for a lot of things, but not enough credit for the great job we did with the pandemic. But the only jobs they got were bounce back jobs. These were jobs bounced back, and it bounced back, and it went to their benefit. But I was the one that created them. They know it, and so does everybody else.
Vice President Harris, I'll let you respond.
So
just going to keep letting each other
Donald
respond?
Trump has no plan for you.
What?
And when you look at his economic plan, it's all about tax breaks for the richest people. I am offering what I describe as an opportunity economy, and the best economists in our country, if not the world, have reviewed our relative plans for the future of America. What Goldman Sachs has said is that Donald Trump's plan would make the economy worse. Mine would strengthen the economy. What the Wharton School
I don't know if I trust
said
Goldman
is Donald
Sachs. I don't
Trump's
know if
plan
I don't know if I
would
trust Goldman
actually
Sachs. They're the ones who
explode
caused
the
the 2008
deficit.
recession.
16 Nobel laureates have
her idea of
his
taxing
economic plan as
unrealized
something
gains
that would
is that is
increase
going to
inflation, and
strengthen
by
the
the middle
economy,
of next
really.
year would invite a recession. You just have to look
Amazing.
at where we are and where we stand on the issues. And
stupid.
I'd invite you to know
Oh,
that
whatever.
Donald
Who
Trump
gives a
actually
shit?
has
It's
no
all
plan for
political
you because he is more
bloviating,
interested
but
in defending himself than he is in looking out for you.
It's just a soundbite. They gave her that to say.
Oh, bongos.
I went to the Wharton
Big
School
Mike.
of Finance, and many of
Mention
those
Big Mike's
professors, the
Omni
top
Tool.
professors, think
We
my
love
plan
Big
is a
Mike's Omni
brilliant
Tool.
plan. It's a
Pause.
great
Crazy
plan. It's a
pause.
plan that's gonna
No,
bring
Diddy,
up
I don't love it,
our
okay?
worth, our
But we know
value
one
as a
man who
country.
does.
It's
Oh,
gonna make
bongo.
people want to be able to go and work and create jobs and create a lot of good, solid money for our country. And just to finish off,
Trump is gonna.
she doesn't have a plan. She
she's going to try to pounce
plan.
it. Did you say a company is making
like
your
run, spot,
company?
run. 4 sentences that are just, oh, we'll try and
Kamala,
lower taxes.
so familiar with
She
Big
doesn't
Mike.
have a plan. Take a look at her
Intimately
plan.
familiar, and
She
that's all I'm
doesn't
going
have
to
a
say
plan.
about that.
Mr.
Intimately
President, I do
familiar
want
with
to drill
Big
down on
Mike.
something you both brought up. The Vice President brought up your tariffs. You responded, and let's drill
Well, they
down
both
on
love
this.
tariffs. I don't know
your
what they're.
plan is what she calls is essentially a
Biden
national sales
just
tax.
upped the
Your proposal
tariffs.
calls for tariffs, as you pointed out here, on foreign imports across the board. You recently said that you might double your plan, imposing tariffs up to 20% on
Biden
goods
is
coming
simply
into this
a
country.
chicken fat.
As you know, many economists say that with tariffs at that level, costs are then passed on to the consumer.
Ooh,
Vice President Harris has argued it'll make higher prices on
exhilarating.
gas,
Stuff
food,
everybody.
clothing, medication, arguing it costs
Where the hell is
nearly
Echo Vin?
$4,000 a year. Do you believe Americans can afford higher prices because of tariffs?
They're not going to have higher prices. What's going to have, and who's going to have
Echo
higher
Vin
prices
is fucking
China
dead.
and
Burzum
all of the
GameCube.
countries that
Echo
have
Vin
been
is
ripping us
fucking
off
dead.
for years. I was the only president ever.
The libtards
China
got
was
him.
paying us hundreds of billions of dollars, and so were other countries. And, you know, if she doesn't like them, they should have gone out and they should have immediately cut the tariffs. But those tariffs are there 3.5 years now under their administration. We are going to take in billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars. I had no inflation, virtually no inflation. They had the highest inflation perhaps in the history of our country, because I've never seen a worse period of time. People can't go out and buy cereal or bacon or eggs or anything else. The people of our country are absolutely dying with what they've done. They've destroyed the economy. And all you have to do is look at a poll. The polls say 80 and 85 and even 90% that the Trump economy was great, that their economy was terrible.
Vice President Harris, I do want to ask for your response, and you heard what the president said there, because the Biden administration did keep a number of the Trump tariffs in place. So
hello, Joey Jojo.
Well, let's be clear that the Trump administration resulted in a trade
Welcome
deficit,
to the most exhilarating show on
we've
earth.
ever seen in the history of America. He invited trade wars. You want to talk about his deal with China? What he ended up doing is under Donald Trump's presidency, he ended up selling American chips to China to help them improve and modernize their military.
Very carefully to what they're
basically
saying.
sold
I'm sorry
us
I've gone kind of
out
silent.
when
I'm
a
just
policy
hanging
about
out watching
China
this,
should
but
be
I don't know,
a
I'm
make
just kind
us
of
join
dead
the
airing it,
United
but
States of America wins the competition for the 21st century, which means focusing on the
decent
details
points. I
of
mean, he
what
does
that
it in a
requires,
very,
focusing on
Trumpian
relationships with
media
our
way,
allies,
but
focusing on investing in American-based
sometimes
technology
he,
so that
doesn't
we
finish his
win
thoughts.
the race on
Things
AI,
might look a little
on
bit
quantum
confusing,
computing,
but you can always
focusing
figure out
on
what he
what
means.
we need to do to support America's world workforce so that we don't end up having on the short end of
Will
the
Trump,
stick
will
in terms
Trump,
of workers'
will Trump lower the
rights.
price of
But
chicken
what Donald
bakes?
Trump
That's
did,
truly the
let's
question.
talk about this with COVID.
Is the chicken
is he
bake
actually
price up?
thanked President Xi
Or
what he did during COVID. Look at
That's
his
really
tweet.
what we want to know.
Thank you, President Xi! Exclamation point. When we know that she was responsible for lacking and not giving us transparency about the
Is she going to
origins of
say
COVID.
that COVID came from the lab?
First
Okay,
of
well,
all, they bought their
not
chips
quite.
from Taiwan. We hardly make chips anymore because
Surfer.
of
Surfer with the
philosophies
truth.
like they have, and
Kamaldup.
policies like they have.
BTFO.
I don't say her because she
No
has
pop.
no policy. Everything that she believed 3 years ago and 4 years
Can I
ago
go on
is
the
out
screen?
the window. She's
he's
going to my
available.
philosophy now. In fact, I was going to send her a MAGA hat. She's gone to my philosophy, but
like
if she ever got elected, she'd change it. And
Like
it
that.
will be the end of our
That.
country. She's a Marxist. Everybody knows she's a
Marxist.
Marxist.
Ooh.
Her father's a Marxist professor in economics, and he taught her well. But when you look at what she's done to our country, and when you look at these millions and millions of people that are pouring into our country monthly, where it's, I believe, 21 million people, not the 15 that people say, and I think it's a lot higher than the 21. That's bigger than New York State pouring in. And just look at what they're doing to our country. They're criminals. Many of these people coming in are criminals, and that's bad for our economy too. You know, you
I don't
mentioned
think the
before,
laughing is
we'll
a good
talk
thing.
about
She's like doing her
immigration
little
later.
girl boss
Well,
pose
bad
laughing.
immigration
That's
is
not
the
a good
worst thing
look.
that can happen to
That was
our
not a good
economy.
look. It was not funny. It was not
They
memeable.
have, and she
It didn't
has
work. I just don't think it was.
destroyed our country with policy
Yeah,
that's
she's
insane.
trying to be so
Almost
smug,
policy
but
that
to
you
be
say
smug, you have
they
to look kind
hate
of
our
happy.
country.
And that's not a good look.
I thought Eggy
I
like
want to turn to the issue of abortion.
I thought
President
Eggy
Trump, you've often
ascend
touted that you were able to kill
the
Roe v. Wade.
tears,
Last
like
year,
a
you
tier
said that you were
of
proud to be the
inner.
most
He's
pro-life
pretty dumb.
president
Like,
in American
King
history.
who even
Then
pull that
last
kind of
month, you
guess?
said that
It's
your
an interesting
administration
question.
would be great
I believe
for
in him,
women
but
and their reproductive rights.
I believe.
In your home state of Florida, you surprised many with regard to your 6-week
Some
abortion
don't.
ban because you initially had said
Girl boss
that it
levels
was
over
too short, and you
2,000.
said,
Oh
quote,
yeah,
"I'm
she's
gonna be
powering up
voting
like
that we
a
need
fucking
more than
Saiyan.
6 weeks." But then the very next day, you reversed course and said you would vote to support the 6-week ban. Vice President Harris says
why
that
is she
women
making
shouldn't trust you on the
Kamala's
issue of
argument
abortion
for
because
her?
you've changed
Like,
your
both
position
of
so
Trump's
many
questions
times.
have had such
Therefore, why
massive
should they trust
preambles
you?
where
The
they're
reason
just,
I'm doing
just
that vote is
really
because
trying to
the
needle him
plan
on
is,
some
as
bullshit.
you know, the vote is they have abortion in the 9th month. They even have, and you can look at the governor of West Virginia, the previous governor of West Virginia, not the current governor, who's doing an excellent job, but the governor before,
Monkey
he
fucking
said
Jones.
the baby will be born and we will decide what to do with the baby. In other words, we'll execute the baby. And that's
the
why I
baby.
did that,
Strong
because
one,
that
strong.
predominates, because they're radical. The Democrats are radical in that. And her vice presidential pick, which I think was a horrible pick, by the way, for our country, because he is really out of it. But her vice presidential pick says abortion in the 9th month is absolutely fine. He also
Yeah, I'm not trying
says
He did say
to talk too much because I don't want to
after
talk
birth, it's
over
execution,
the
no
lion.
longer abortion, because the baby is born, is okay. And that's not okay with me, hence the vote. But what I did is something for 52 years they've been trying to get Roe v.
doing
Wade
better than
into
I
the states.
thought he would.
And through
He's pretty on point.
Dude,
He's a lot more energetic than during
she's
the
not
Biden
like
one.
she's like grimacing right now. She can't handle it.
6 Supreme Court
She
justices.
just can't
Yeah.
handle the.
We
She
were
can't
able
handle the
to
dub
do that. Now, I
overload.
believe in the
It's pouring
exceptions
over.
for rape,
The dub
incest,
stream,
and
the dub
life.
wave,
I
it's
believe
flowing over,
strongly
and
in
it's
it.
doing.
Ronald
She
Reagan
can't
did
handle
also.
it.
85% of Republicans
She wants to
do.
scream and pull
Exceptions,
her,
very important.
but
we were able
what
to
is that?
get it, and
She wants
now
to be like,
states
"Hey,
are voting
yo!"
on it. And for
You
the
know,
first
so like they
time,
do a
you're
World
going to
Star
say,
hip
look,
hop.
this is an issue that's torn our country apart for 52 years.
Indeed,
Every
yes.
legal scholar, every Democrat, every Republican, liberal, conservative, they all wanted this issue to be brought back to the states where the people could vote. And that's what happened. And now, Ohio, the vote was somewhat liberal. Kansas, the vote was somewhat liberal, much more liberal than people would have thought. But each individual state is voting. It's the vote of the people now. It's not tied up in the federal government. I did a great service in doing it. It
I
took
agree.
courage to do it.
That's
and the
true.
Supreme
He's
Court
right
had
with
great
that.
courage in doing it. And I give
This is what
tremendous
democracy
credit to
means,
those 6
bitch.
justices.
There is no state in this country where it is legal to kill a baby after it's born. Madam Vice
Are you
President, I wanna
really
get your
gonna?
response
Oh,
to
There
you
was.
President
just
Trump.
snappy
Well, as
little
I said, you're going
cunt.
to hear a bunch of lies.
Is that
and
legal
that's
if it's
not
born?
actually a surprising fact. Let's understand how we got here.
Oh,
There is procedures where they try to have, they have an abortion, and if the baby stays alive after the abortion, if it's a failed abortion, they will still try to kill the baby.
Exactly as he
right?
intended.
Yeah.
And now in over 20
well, this case
states,
where it's like,
there are Trump
it's the life of the mother or the life of the baby, essentially. Like, it's rare, but it does happen. And yeah, okay, then they might kill the baby right.
Yeah, but that's like not.
Trump abortion
yeah,
bans
no, I mean, I don't know. Look, Trump's talking about this anyway, right? Like, not even like the most hardcore Democrats are going to be like, yeah, no, you can decide right at the last second that, nah, I don't want this baby anyway. I want it aborted.
One does not have
but
to abandon
there are edge cases where these things happen.
Or deeply
and it's also
held
kind of a stupid thing to bring up in the debate to begin with, but whatever.
Like, Gara, that's like exactly what all of the
discussion, right?
But all like the abortion grifters, yeah, with Gara, with all the abortion grifters are doing like literally exactly that thing.
Pregnant women
like just being like, oh my god, like, because he's engaging in realistic political like activity. Right? They're just
look at
psychotic.
It's her moment. This is the one thing in the clip when she's pointing and abortion.
A 12 or 13-year-old survivor of incest being forced to carry a pregnancy to term. They don't want that.
Project
and I
2025. You should just be like, I'm going to do all of it. He's like, you know what? You convinced me. I'm going to do all of it. What are you going to do? Absolutely nothing.
I will proudly sign it into law.
I'm a woman.
But understand, if Donald Trump were to be reelected,
well, that's a little
he will
bit
sign a national abortion ban. Understand, in his Project 2025, there would be a national abortion
bitch needs a slap. Ralph Mail style says Fishman 5, 6, 7, 8.
The American people
they're going to monitor the pregnancies. You're going to have a pregnancy tip once you get pregnant. Once the sperm enters your body.
No, the Italian X. It's imperative that any woman at any time basically goes and gets to do a ritualized murder of a kid. And like entirely trivialize like what that is. That's what this country was founded on. You know, murdering children. It was very good.
And it may take
a little
time. But for 52 years, this issue has torn our country apart, and they've wanted it back
cleared up
our
piss bottles, Kamala Bish. Ralph Mail style.
The states are now abortion, like holy shit, it's like the least interesting topics possible.
As far as the abortion ban, no, I'm not in favor of abortion ban, but it doesn't matter because this issue has now been taken over by the states.
Would you veto?
Yeah, I feel like this whole voting thing is kind of a little bit of a not so good. Okay, maybe you shouldn't have certain people.
But also it's fucking America. Like,
especially now with
so many of their policies.
Wait, is that actually Alistair Mycroft?
Children and just.
She's not going to get the vote. She can't get the vote.
Even that stupid, like daylight saving time is probably already the big change. They already have like a rate on it.
That's true. I remember the student loan thing. I remember that happened to me. They told me to get rid of my student loans. They said, you don't have to pay your student loans anymore. We're going to forgive them. And then I didn't. They lied to me.
We'll do it a different way. And he went out, got rejected again by the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
So
well, maybe Mamala's going to finally do it.
Little Duppykins shit.
Part of the reason they lost.
I aborted a child on my hand, little Duppykins. Shake my hand. Gara with the beautiful.
They were saying it's the same way that they talked about that they talk about abortion.
But if I could just get a yes or no, because your running mate, J.D. Vance, has said that you would veto it if it did come to your desk.
Well, I didn't discuss it with J.D. in all fairness.
Student loan payments for libtards only. Groiper is my political belief.
This woman fucking hates Duff so much.
We don't have to discuss it because she'd never be able to get it.
Cheeto Hitler.
They try to needle him on points, and he just takes it as his own little spiel and does his own little thing. So people already forgot.
Yeah.
Supposedly, I'm very loud, so lower my volume.
So wonderful. Let's go to Congress.
Very loud.
But the fact is that for years they wanted to get it out of Congress.
I think that
and
might
out of
just
the federal
be
government.
your natural,
and we did something that everybody said couldn't be done. And now you have a vote of the people on abortion.
Vice President Harris, I want to give you your time to respond, but I do want to ask, would you support any restrictions on a woman's right to an abortion?
I absolutely support
I'm glad
reinstating
we're
the
buds.
protections
We
of
fought
Roe v.
before.
Wade. And as you...
Brian?
rightly mentioned, nowhere in America
the Italian X
is a woman carrying a pregnancy
Wherever
to
you are.
term and asking for an abortion. That is not happening. It's
Now they're telling
insulting
to turn me
to the
up.
women
This
of
is
America.
just
And understand
It
what
is
has been
happening.
happening under
It's
Donald
happened.
Trump's
It is a
abortion
sensible
bans.
point.
Couples who pray
That women after 9 months.
Riz was
and
at like
dream of
150
having a
in volume, so I just
people out there.
I just put him to 100.
IVF
So
treatments.
you were just a little bit
What is
volume boosted
happening in
actually,
our
Riz. So I just got
country?
you guys all at
Working
100 again.
people,
So that's
working
fine.
women
Ooh,
who
thank
are
you.
working one or
Beautiful.
two jobs, who can barely afford childcare as
King
it
Kino
is,
is the
have
enemy.
to travel to another state.
And
To get on a
is
plane
this just
sitting
going
in
to be the
strangers,
abortion debate?
to
We're
go and
still
get the
on this,
healthcare she
seriously?
needs. Barely
Are
can
you...
afford to do it, and what you are putting her through
We just have to headshot
is
little babies. We
unconscionable.
have to 360
And the
no scope
people
little
of
children with
America
trepanation
have
needles.
I
not
just
been
don't
the
care,
majority
bitch.
of
He
Americans
just giving
believe
me
in a
the I
woman's
don't
right to
care,
make
bitch.
decisions about her own
Yeah,
body,
he was like,
and that is
just
why
please shut up.
in every state where
Get
this
on with
issue
it.
has
Holy
been on the
shit.
ballot
Why
in
do you
red
have to
and
go
Surfer
blue
on?
says
This is
another
what
lie.
the people of America
this
have
is
voted
so
for freedom.
obviously them
Vice
just
President
being...
Harris,
Excuse me, I have to
you.
respond.
Like,
Another
we
lie.
got to pull
It's another
Kamala
lie.
over the finish
I have
line
been
by
a
just
leader
making the
on
entire
IVF,
debate about the
which is
topics that are very
fertilization.
easy for
The
her.
IVF, I
Well,
have
no,
been
they're gonna
a
pull it
leader.
when we
In
find
fact,
the 40 million
when they got a
votes.
very negative
120
decision on
million for
IVF from the
Kamala.
Alabama courts, I saw
Very
the
real.
people of
Most
Alabama and
Completely
the
real.
popular
legislature
president
2
ever.
days later voted it in. I've been a
You thought,
leader
dude,
on it.
it's
They
time.
know that, and everybody else knows it. I have been a
And
leader
then
on
we can see what
fertilization,
Khmer
IVF.
Rouge 2
And
looks
the other
like.
thing, they
Khmer
You
Rouge
should
2
ask.
electric chair
Will she
boogaloo.
allow
It's
abortion
gonna
in the
be
8th
kind of
month,
not
9th
so good.
month, 7th month?
Come on.
Okay, would you do that?
Oh, yes,
Why
I
don't you ask
changed
me
my
that
stance on
question?
You answer
abortion
the
when I heard
question,
no
would you
fat
veto?
gamer
Roe v.
offered to
Answer the
Wade,
breed
question, would you
Ruby
veto?
You could do
Physique.
abortions
He's
in the
cutting
7th
it up.
month,
He
the 8th
overpowered
month,
her.
the
He
9th
just
month,
overpowered
and
her, even though
probably
they
after
unmuted
birth.
her.
Just look
That
at the
is, that's
former governor
inflection
of
point.
Virginia. The governor
Beautiful.
of Virginia said, we
Powerful.
put the baby aside, and then we determine what we want
Yeah,
to
it's
do
like,
with
do you?
the baby.
Yeah,
Thank you.
We're going to
Spread,
turn
it's like,
now
do
to
you care about the baby
immigration and border
kittens? Okay, you
security.
care
We
about
know
killing
it's a
Asians.
Yo,
You don't
he
care about
didn't even get
abortion.
a chance to
Democrats,
respond.
voters
He just
across the
dunked
board,
on her,
in
and
this
she
country.
didn't get a chance.
Vice President
Oh
Harris,
my
you
god!
were tasked by
I wasn't sure,
President
is that
Biden
covering
with
for
getting to
her,
the
or is
root
that
causes
like
of migration
dogging
from
on her,
Central
I
or not
America.
letting
I
her
think
respond
they're
to
We know
her?
seeing
that
that she's
illegal border
actually
crossings
performing
reached a
surprisingly
record high
poorly
in the
here,
Biden
and are like, okay,
administration.
we
This
need
past
to move
June,
on. This is
President
not
Biden
working.
imposed tough new
But now they're
asylum
That
going
was
into
supposed to
what
be
is probably
her
her worst
moment,
agenda.
and I thought Dub came across good. I think Dub came across way more sane there. Right? He was just like, let the states vote for it.
And would you have done anything differently?
She's so unhinged, and she's constantly
So I'm the
emoting
only
while he's
person on
talking
this
to the point
stage
where she
who
just
has
looks like
prosecuted transnational criminal
crazy woman.
organizations for the trafficking of guns, drugs,
Well,
and human
spoilers.
beings. And let
If
me
the
say
shoe
Yeah,
fits,
no,
that
sure, but
the
you
you
don't
know.
United
forget
States
that.
Congress,
Fucking
including some of the most
even Hillary
conservative
was
members
better
of
at
the
hiding that
House and
aspect.
Senate, came up with a border security bill,
Weasel should have
which
been
I
on
supported.
Kamala's team, okay?
And that
He would
bill
have given
would
her
I would have
put
something.
coached her good.
1,500 more border agents on the border to help those folks who are working there right now overtime, trying to do their job. It would have allowed us to stem the flow of fentanyl
Oh, we're
coming
talking about
into
the
the
border
United
bill. Of
States.
course, the
I
border
know
bill.
there's so many
Jews.
families watching tonight
The
who have been
Jews.
personally
Please,
affected
let's not
by
talk
the
about
surge
like
of fentanyl in our
Al
country.
Miri. Like that would be
That
great to
bill
not talk
would have
about
put
like
more
the fucking
resources to
thing that
allow
like
us
does
to
not.
prosecute
Like
transnational
who
criminal
even?
organizations for
Gee,
trafficking in
The
guns,
feeling
drugs, and
Trump's going to
human
run
beings. But
away
you know
with
what
this.
happened
This
to
so
that
far
bill?
has proved to be a very
Donald Trump
ineffective
got on the
talking
phone,
point. That one
called
bill
up
would have
some
solved
folks in
everything,
Congress
and then he
said,
just
kill the bill.
counters
And you
with,
know
"Oh yeah,
why?
but
Come
you
on,
could have
man.
just
Because
literally
he'd
done it by
prefer to run
executive
on a
order, like
problem
I did."
instead of fixing
And
a
it's a very
problem.
easy
And
answer, and
understand, this comes at a time
he can
where the
bloviate about
people
it
of our
afterwards
country
for 2
actually need a
minutes.
leader who
Bri
engages
wouldn't
in
take over the
solutions,
debate with
who
bad
actually
takes.
addresses the problems at hand. But
What's
what
the
we
over
have in
under
the
on
former
this,
president is someone who would
fellas?
prefer to
Sorry,
run
Would
on a
Bri
problem instead of fixing
Somebody
a
said,
problem. And I'll
Fishman
tell you something,
5678
he's
said
going to talk about
Bri
immigration a lot
wouldn't
tonight,
take
even
over
when
the
it's not
debate
the
with
subject
bad
that is being
takes.
raised. And I'm I'm going to actually do something really
that
unusual.
takes
and
up
I'm
pretty
gonna
much
invite
everything.
you
I mean, I don't know what
to
you're
attend one of
expecting.
Donald Trump's rallies, because it's a really interesting thing to watch. You will
The
see during the
big
course
problem
of his
with getting him
rallies, he
involved
talks
in
about
anything.
fictional characters like Hannibal Lecter. He will talk about windmills cause
Windmills
cancer.
cause
And what you
cancer?
will also
Really?
notice is that
I mean,
people
they kill
start leaving
birds,
his
but they don't
rallies
cause
early
cancer. I don't
out of
think.
exhaustion and boredom.
Might give you a
And I will
headache
tell
if
you
you
the
live
one thing
close
you
to
will
them.
not
They
hear me
make a
talk
lot of
about
The
noise.
windmills are shooting
You will
cancer
not hear me talk
particles
about
into
your
the
needs,
American
your
people, and
dreams,
it's
and
not
your
a fucking
and
good
your
thing.
desires.
He does talk about
I will
it.
tell you,
5G
I believe
windmills from China.
deserve
What the
a
fuck?
president
Coming
who
here.
actually puts you first, and I
What is
pledge
this?
to you
True.
that I
This
will.
is
Vice
like
President
like
Harris, thank you.
prepared
President
like,
Trump, on that
speech.
point, I want to get your response.
Well, I would like to respond.
Let me just
Yeah,
ask, though,
clearly.
why
I
did you
mean,
try to kill that
they've
bill,
trained her to do
successfully
this.
so, that would have put thousands of additional
Come
agents
on,
and
Fat.
officers on the border?
First, let me respond.
One thing you won't hear him talk
Rallies.
about is that
She
chicken
said
jack.
people start leaving. People don't go to her rallies. There's no reason to go. And the people that do go, she's bussing them in and paying them to be there. And then showing them
Look
in a
at her
different
laughing.
light.
Oh,
So
no,
she
no,
can't talk about
no,
that. People don't
woman,
leave
what
my
are you
rallies.
doing?
We have the biggest
This is
rallies,
not a
the
good
most
look.
incredible rallies in the history of politics. That's because people want to take their country back. Our country is being lost. We're a failing nation. And it happened
I was
3.5
just trying to look
years
serious.
ago.
Okay, I put on
And
the serious
what's
face.
going on here, you're going to end up in World War III, just to go into another subject. What they
Would
have done
Gahul
to our
smoke
country by
fentanyl with
allowing
me?
these millions and
This
millions
James
of
Kino
people to
archive
come into
number
our
2.
country, and look at
Is it
what's
good
happened to the
fentanyl? I
towns
mean-
all over the United States. And a lot of
Fact
towns
check.
don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it.
They're
In
eating the dog.
Springfield,
There's Echo Vin.
They're eating the
There's
dogs.
Echo Vin.
The
Shalom,
people
Echo
that
Vin.
came in, they're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening.
They're eating the dogs, brother.
As far as the rallies are concerned, as far
Jesus,
as
these
the
Haitians,
reason
they're a
they
little
go is they
crazy,
like
okay?
what I
They're
say.
kind of like,
They
what is
wanna
this
bring
voodoo
our
stuff?
country back.
Bongo? What
They
does that
wanna
even
make
mean?
America great again. It's
I
a very
don't know.
simple phrase. Make America great again. She's destroying this country, and if she becomes
They're
president,
eating cats,
this
and
country doesn't
so
have
many
a
cat ladies
chance
like
of
her,
success.
and she won't
Not
even
only
protect her
success,
cats.
will end up
Not
being
so good.
Venezuela on steroids.
I just want to clarify. Here, you
Venezuela
brought up
on
Springfield,
steroids.
Ohio.
Well, this
and
is this
ABC
this
News did
confirms
reach
that
out to the city
Kamala by
manager there.
150
He told
votes.
us there have been
They're
no
all
credible
in.
reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or
How
abused by
could
individuals
Dup recover
within the
from such a
immigrant
colossal
community.
I've seen
self
people on television.
Let me just say,
capsizing as
People on
protecting
television say my dog was taken
regular
and
people's
used
pets
for
from
food.
getting
So
turned into
maybe
voodoo
maybe
sacrifices?
that's a good thing to
Holy
say for a
shit.
city manager.
I'm not
They're
taking this
afraid
from
of
the
him.
television.
People are
I'm
on
taking it from
television
the city
saying their
manager.
dog
They're
was
afraid.
eaten by the people that went
Fuck.
there.
He has
Again,
something
Springfield City
in
Manager says
him,
there's no
okay,
evidence
and
of
he's
that.
about to
Vice
unleash
President
it.
I'll let you respond to the rest of what you've heard.
It's the truth about Big Mike.
About extreme.
Oh no, she's laughing. No, no, don't cackle.
This
Oh
is, I think,
no.
one of the reasons why
Don't
in
cackle
this
about dogs being
election,
eaten.
I
That's
actually
not a
have
good
the
idea.
endorsement
She's like, I love it.
of
It's kind of
200
keto, actually. No, but this is
Mamala,
what
personally
girl.
worked with President Bush, Mitt
Weasel
Romney,
Weasel's
and
watching
John
his girl
McCain,
boss dreams
including
go
the
up and
endorsement of
puff
former
of
Vice
flames.
President Dick Cheney
No longer
and
will Dobby Mommy
Congressmember
Mamala
Liz
be able
Cheney.
to make it up the
And
White
if
House
you
You know
want to
thing.
who
really know
you really don't
the
want
inside
to
track
endorse
on
you is
who
Dick
the
Cheney. I'm
former
gonna be
president
honest.
is,
Yeah.
if he didn't make it clear
All of the
already,
left
just
hates
ask people
I
who
just-
worked with him. His former
It's
chief
like
of
part
staff,
of the
a four-star
Republicans'
general,
worst
Ricky
recent
said he has
history.
contempt
Like
for the
fucking
Constitution of
hell.
the United States.
Like,
Dick
oh
got
no,
away
we
with it.
got the
National
war
Security
bunkers.
Advisor has
They're
said he is
cool. We want
dangerous and
their
unfit.
endorsement.
His
Dick
former
Cheney got away with shooting a
Secretary of
guy, and then he
Defense
made that guy
has said the
apologize to
nation,
him.
The Republic would
It's like,
never
it's just like,
survive
what the?
another
It's that
Trump
neocon money.
He got away
term.
with enriching himself
when
from the
we
ruins
listen
of
to
Iraq.
this
Like,
That
kind of
come on.
Halliburton.
when
It's
the
that
issues that
keto
affect the
Halliburton.
American
The
people
man
are
should be
not
standing
being
trial in the
addressed, I
fucking
think the
Hague
choice is
for,
clear in this
for
election.
war
President Trump, I'll
crimes.
give you a quick minute to
I mean,
respond.
shit, nigga.
Thank you.
Anything-
because when I
anything
hear
for
that-
democracy.
See, I'm a different kind of a person.
We must
I
preserve
fired
democracy.
Most of those people.
At all costs.
Not so graciously. They did bad
just
things or a bad job. I fired
Haitian
them.
the
They
way.
never
Hello,
fired one
Trifox.
person. They didn't fire anybody having to do with Afghanistan and the Taliban
That's
and the
true.
13
It is
people
true.
who's were just
we
killed
go to
viciously
Afghanistan
and
now.
violently
Trifox.
killed. And I
Kind
got
of
to
a
know the
muddled
parents and the
subject,
family.
Trifox with the
They didn't fight.
Haitian
They
the
should
way I
Playboy
be
Cardi,
eating pussy.
generals, all those
Damn,
top people,
Tripod.
because that was
Damn,
one of the most
Haitian the way I be eating
incompetently handled
pussy.
situations anybody
he writes
has ever
for
seen.
he
So
writes
when
for
somebody
Playboy
does a
Cardi.
bad
This guy
job,
Trifox.
I'd fire him. And you take a guy like Esper. He was no good. I fired
You know
him.
what? I
Don't
will
say
say,
the N-word here.
Kamala is filling her
Because with me, they
spaghetti
can write
less than
books.
I
With
thought
nobody
she
else
would.
can they? But they have
She's
done such
kind of
a poor
awkward, and
job,
her
and they
facial
never fire
expressions are
anybody.
just like
Look at
fucking
the
poison.
economy. Look
But I
at the
expected her to do a little
inflation.
bit
They didn't
worse.
fire any of
But then
their
I expected Dup
economists.
to
They
do
have the
worse
same
too. I guess I
people.
was
That's a
just
good way
very,
not
very
to have books
pessimistic in
written about
general.
you. But just to finish, I got more votes than any Republican
Mr.
in
Mycroft,
history
would you
by
smash
far.
Kamala? The people need to
In
know,
fact,
Mr. Mycroft.
I got more
Okay.
votes than any president, sitting president in history by far.
Let me continue on immigration. It was what you wanted to talk about earlier, so let's get back to your deportation proposal.
Hey,
that the
that
Vice
is
President
not the
has
right
reacted
answer,
to as
dude.
well. President
Actually,
Trump, you
nah,
called this the
I
largest
don't.
domestic
I don't know.
deportation
I don't know.
operation
I mean,
in the
he's
history of our
probably
country. You say you
technically
would use the
right,
National
right? Because
Guard.
Alistair
like, a lot of
Mycroft,
people.
the fact you're interested
No
in
problem
Kamala
using the
stepped out
US
of proves you
local
just got the
police.
ass
You also
taste
said
in
you
women,
would
man.
use
I'm just gonna be
local
honest.
police.
It's the
How
ass
would
taste.
you
It's
deport
not
11
not
million
even you're an ass
undocumented
man,
immigrants? I know
but like the
you believe
bottom.
that
You're at the
number is
bottom
much
shit
higher.
barrel taste in women. I'm
Take
just
us
gonna be
through this.
honest.
What
It's
does
no
this
good.
look like? Will authorities be
Jesus,
going door to
what
door in this
the?
country?
Yeah. It
Wait,
is much
sorry.
higher
Who
because of
is?
them.
Jesus,
They allowed
Trifox, my
criminals,
condolences.
many millions of criminals.
No,
They
Trifox,
allowed
they have
terrorists.
not
They allowed
begun
common street
talking
criminals.
about
They
tiny
allowed
hats.
people to come in, drug dealers to come into our country.
Yeah,
And they're
no
now
Israel
in the United
yet.
States.
They might try to
And
avoid it because Kamala looks bad
their
on it and it
countries like
divides our base.
Venezuela don't ever come back or we're
Then
going to
again, they
kill
literally
you.
have a
Do you know
protest
that
outside
crime
for
in
Palestine, so I
Venezuela
don't know how
and
they can
crime in
avoid it.
countries
But
all over the world
God
is
knows.
way down? You know why? Because they've taken their criminals off the street and they've given them to her to put into our country. And this will be one of the greatest mistakes in history for them to allow. And I think they probably did it because they think they're going to get votes, but it's not worth it because they're destroying the fabric of our country by what they've done. There's never been anything done like this at all. They've destroyed the fabric of our country. Millions of people let in. And all over the world, crime is down. All over the world except here. Crime here is up and through the roof. Despite their fraudulent statements that they made, crime in this country is through the roof. And we have a new form of crime. It's called migrant
That is true,
crime.
Echo-Ben.
And it's happening at levels that nobody thought possible.
gesticulations.
Trump, as you know, the FBI says overall violent crime is actually coming down in this country. But
Excuse me, the FBI they were defrauding statements. They didn't include the worst cities.
Okay,
they
I want to
didn't
finish
include
first, but
the cities with the worst crime. It was a fraud, just like their number of
they
818,000
keep trying to make her arguments for him, and he's just taking that as an
President
excuse to
Trump, thank you. I'll let you
overpower
respond,
them and just
President
bolts
Well, I think
over their
this is so
stupid
rich.
comeback moments.
Coming from someone who
It's
is
both showing
prosecuted
them to be biased as fuck
for
and showing him to be powerful.
national
It's a
security
double whammy
crimes,
of
economic
greatness.
crimes, election interference, has been found liable
They haven't
for
fact-checked her
sexual
once,
assault,
right, with all the
and his
bullshit
she's
next
saying.
big
Who the
court
hell is
appearance is in
Jonathan
November at his
Frakes?
own criminal sentencing.
Well,
And let's be clear.
Kamala
Where
is
each person
brown.
stands on the
Brown.
issue of what is important about
She does have a
respect
big
for the
brown
rule of
boob
law
work. Yeah,
and respect
so-
for law enforcement. The former vice president called for defunding
All
federal law
three.
enforcement, 45,000 agents. Get this. On the day
Kamala
after he was
will be
arraigned
starring
on
in
34
Tamers,
felony
Oh no!
counts.
Don't talk about
So
the
let's talk
felonies
about
you
what
indict him
is
on. That
important
is
in
such.
this
Oh,
race.
I
It is
defraud
important
federal
that we
agents.
move
I get rid of
forward,
them. I'm
that
fine
we
with that.
turn the page on this same old
You're like-
tired rhetoric and
Yeah,
address
no, I don't know
the
how
needs
that
of the
goes.
American people, address what we need to do about the housing shortage, which I have a plan
he's
for,
gonna fucking
address
nail
what we
her
must
on
do
the
to support our small
prosecutions
businesses,
against him. I
address
mean,
bringing down
Sorry,
the price of
Duppykins,
groceries.
But
But frankly, the American
bad
people
dude.
are
If you want to bring down the price of
exhausted
groceries, do
with
it. You're in
the same old
office.
tired playbook.
You are in office right
Vice
now.
President
You can
Harris,
do it.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Every one
Look
of
at-
those
yeah,
cases
because his eyes are
were
open now.
started
He's
by
on
them
fire.
against their political opponent, and I'm
He has
winning
the
most of
stare.
them,
He's
and I will
locked
win the
in.
rest on appeal. And you saw that with the decision that came down just recently from the Supreme Court. I'm winning most of them, but those are cases. It's called weaponization. Never happened in this country. They weaponized the
Yeah,
Justice
he's got a
Department.
million on this
Every one
bitch.
of those
Fuck.
cases was
He
involved
must
with
be
the
close to a
DOJ, from
commercial break,
Atlanta
too.
and Fani Willis to,
Which they're probably
to
going
the
to try to end out with
Attorney
her
General
having
of
the
New York and the
last thing to
DA in
say,
New
of
York.
course.
Every one
The
of those
last
cases,
cackle.
and then they say, "Oh, he's a criminal." They're the ones that made them go after me. By the way, Joe Biden was found essentially guilty on the documents case. And what happened in my documents case? They said, "Oh, that's the toughest of them all." A complete and total victory. 2 months ago, it was thrown out. It's weaponization, and they used it, and it's never happened in this country. They used it to try and win an election. They're fake cases.
President Trump, thank you. A really quick response here, Vice President Harris, on this notion of weaponization of the Justice Department.
Well, let's talk about extreme and understand the context in which this election in 2024 is taking place.
She's
The United States Supreme Court recently
the
ruled that the
context
former
in which
president
it's
would
going
essentially
takes
be
place is
immune
not accurate
from
at all.
any misconduct
Fucking
if he were to enter the White House again. Understand, this is someone who has openly said he would terminate, I'm quoting, terminate the Constitution of the United States, that he would weaponize the Department of Justice against his political enemies.
But you're doing that right now.
Openly expressed
Yes,
disdain
so ridiculous.
for members
What
of
the
our
fuck is
military.
this?
Understand
Why are
what
we
it
not
would mean
just,
if Donald Trump were
getting rid of
back in
this
the White
democracy
House
thing?
with
Like, if
no
these people are just gonna
guardrails.
be blatant
Because
progressives,
certainly
they're
we
just
know
gonna
now
lie
the
about
court
it.
won't
Like,
stop
you
him.
know,
We know
maybe
J.D.
why
Vance is
even-
not going to stop
That
him.
would retard
It's up
like
to
Xi
the American
Jinping in
people
charge, and you
Vice
fucking
President
country
Harris.
up another way.
Lindsay.
Vice President Harris, in your
it's
last run for
the
president.
We got
This
to
is the
continue.
one that
The
weaponized,
payment has
not
come
me.
in. My
She weaponized.
yuan
I
has,
probably took a
yuan is
bullet to
cleared
the
for
head
checking, and I have
because
gotta
of
say, China
the
number
things
one.
that they say about me. They talk about democracy. I'm a threat to democracy. They're the threat to democracy with a
President
fake Russia investigation
We do have a lot to
that
get.
went nowhere.
We have a lot to get to. Lindsay?
Vice President Harris, in your last run for president, you said you wanted to
Kamala.
ban fracking. Now you
Feels
don't.
all
You
of
wanted
us
mandatory
talking
government
about it.
buyback programs for
Kamala,
assault weapons. Now your
who first
campaign
hated
says you
fracking,
don't.
but now
You
she
supported
loves it.
decriminalizing border crossings. Now you're taking a harder line. I know you say that your values have not changed. So then why have so many of your policy positions changed?
Actually, kind of hard on her there.
My
Didn't
values
expect
have
that.
not changed, and I'm going to discuss every
And she's
one of
actually
at least
startled.
every
Fuck.
point that you've made. But in particular, let's talk about fracking because we're here in Pennsylvania. I made that very clear in 2020. I will not ban fracking. I have not banned fracking as Vice President of the United States, and in fact, I was the tie-breaking vote on the Inflation Reduction Act, which opened new leases for fracking.
Thank God we don't
My
have Trump
position is
advising the
that
Trump
we have
debate
got
team.
to
Holy shit.
invest
Like,
in diverse sources of
Let's
energy
just
so we
compare
reduce
yourself
our
to
reliance
that.
on foreign oil. We have
most powerful
had the
debate
largest
I think actually
increase
that'd be kind of
in
big.
domestic oil production in
Yeah, what's
history
it?
because of an
Based, but
approach that
also, you know,
recognizes
not-
that
not-
we cannot
not great
over-rely
for
on
sound
foreign
bites
oil.
and things.
As it relates to my values, let me tell you,
They'll
I
just
grew
make him
up a
say it
middle-class
anyway, like,
kid
you know what I mean?
raised by a
Like, what the
hardworking
hell?
I
mother
mean, maybe before he
who
goes out, he's
worked
like,
and saved
yeah, you know, on the
and was
last
able
day
to
in
buy our
office,
first home when I was a
Hitler was a
teenager.
good guy. Here's all
The
the
values I
classified
bring to the
documents.
importance of
I'm
home
out.
ownership,
I'm
knowing
Cheeto,
not everybody
and I'm
got
Cheeto, I'm
handed
Cheeto Hitler.
$400 million on a silver platter and then filed bankruptcy 6 times, is a value that
And
I
he
bring
starts,
to
like,
my
the
work
war to
say
secede
we are
Florida
going
from the
to
rest of the
work with the
nation.
private sector and home
Chicago
builders
to beat
to
Nixon.
increase
That is true.
3 million homes, increase by
JFK
3
was
million
the
homes
first
by the
one.
end of my first term. My work that is related to having a friend when I was in high school who was sexually assaulted by her
This is weird.
stepfather. And my focus then on protecting women and children from violent crime is based on a value
But
that is deeply
you're
grounded
flooding
in
the
the
country.
I had a
importance
friend who
of
got sexually
standing
assaulted
up
by
for
their
those who are
stepfather
most vulnerable.
once.
My work
so real.
that is
Yeah.
about protecting
What the fuck
Social
does that matter?
Security and
I mean,
Medicare
I'm sorry, it's a terrible
is
thing
based
to
on
hear, but, like,
long-standing work that I have
Her
done,
promoting
protecting
during it
seniors
was
from
terrible.
scams.
Absolutely
My
unbelievable.
values
Nobody
Is your
have
friend
not
okay with you them,
changed.
everyone
And what
telling
is
the
important is that
world
there
about
is a
that as a
president
president?
who
It's kind of
actually
fucked up to bring
brings
up as a
values
presidential, like,
and a
like that's their
perspective
sexual
that
assault.
is
Using it as a
about
weapon
lifting
against your
people
political
up
opponents is fucked up.
During
Why would you
a
bring
and
that
not
up?
beating people down
Fucking presidential
and name
debate.
calling.
Like this
The
lady.
true measure of the leader
Her sexual
is the
assault is now a
leader who
national
actually
fucking
understands the strength is not
topic.
in beating people down, it's in lifting people up. I intend to be that president.
President Trump, your
Well, first of all, I wasn't given
She said
$400
that.
million. I
It
wish I
goes
was.
back to
My
Duffy's
father was a
line. I think
Brooklyn
that's a
builder,
great
Brooklyn,
thing. She
Queens,
got
and a
fucking
great
violated.
father, and I learned a lot from him. But I was
These
given a
Democrats, they
fraction of that,
deserve
a tiny
a little
fraction,
bit of it, okay?
and I built it into many, many
You know, they should have
billions of
given him
dollars,
this
many,
format
many
to begin
billions.
with. He does
And when
great
people
in the
see it,
2-minute
they are
format.
even surprised.
because it's a lot like
we don't have to
television.
talk about that. Fracking, she's been against it for 12 years.
What's she doing
Defund
with
the
the
police,
hands?
she's
Like,
been against that
defund the
forever.
police.
She gave
yeah.
all that stuff up. Very
What the hell?
wrongly, very horribly,
Defund
and
who?
everybody's laughing at it, okay? They're all laughing at it. She gave up
Defund the
at
police?
least 12 and probably 14 or 15 different policies. Like, she was big on defund the police. In Minnesota, she went out, wait a minute, I'm talking now, if you don't mind, please.
Oh, he did it
Does
to
that sound
her! No!
She went out in Minnesota and wanted to let
utter
criminals
genius.
that killed people, that
God
burned
damn.
down Minneapolis, She went out and raised money to get him out of jail.
Oh, he
She did
stole
things
her
that nobody would
sass.
ever
He
think of.
stole
Now
a
she wants to do
quarter black woman's
transgender
sass.
operations
Jesus
on
Christ.
illegal aliens that are in prison.
Duck even
This
does
is
better
a
at
radical
sassing out
left
the blacks, okay?
liberal
It's so simple.
that would do this. She wants to
Holy shit.
confiscate
The
your
RN
guns, and she
man
will
speaks,
never
it's so
allow
true.
fracking in
He's
Pennsylvania.
truly being
If she won the
the lion
election,
now. He's trying to
fracking in
contain himself
Pennsylvania
during
He
will
was the
end
lion.
on day one.
We
Just to
unleashed
finish
the
one
lion,
thing, so
okay?
important in my
Come and
opinion.
pin me, that's not miss.
So I got the oil business going like
just
nobody has ever
thrives
done
on it.
before. They took, when they took over, they got rid of it, started getting rid of it, and the prices were going up the roof. They immediately let these guys go to where they were. I would have been 5 times, 4 times, 5 times higher, because you're talking about 3.5 years ago. They got it up to where I was because they had no choice, because the prices of energy were quadrupling and doubling. You saw what happened to gasoline.
Well, the
So they said,
Italian
let's
ex,
go
that
back
might
to
be a
Trump.
thing that
But
actually,
if she
that,
won
like,
the
if
election,
we
the
just
day
sort of,
after
like,
that election,
cut 'em in
they'll go
half
back
at the
to
bottom,
destroying
okay?
our
It's a way of
country,
getting rid
and
of the
oil
problem.
will be dead,
You know?
fossil fuel will be dead, we'll go back to
man.
windmills, and we'll go
I
back
could
to
get behind a
solar,
specific
where they need a
implementation
whole
of that-
desert
of
to
that
get
formula
some
where
energy
they
to come out of it.
die.
You ever see a solar plant? By the way, I'm a big fan of
probably
solar.
gonna
But
look
they
at an
take
angle now where he's like,
400, 500
He's the
acres
Hitler.
of desert
President
soil.
Trump, we have a
Cheeto
lot of
Hitler.
issues
Cheeto Hitler
that we
too.
have to get to.
Definitely don't take a shot at him
Thank you.
again.
Lindsay, thank you. We have an election in just
Definitely
56
don't.
days. And I want to talk about
We're
the
telling you
peaceful transfer
explicitly
of power,
not.
which, of course,
We're
we all
going
know
to
is a cornerstone of our
January
democracy
6th.
and the role of
Oh,
the president in a moment of
February,
crisis.
as they called it.
Mr. President, on
Jeb
January
was in
6th,
control
you
that
told
day.
your supporters to march to the Capitol.
This
You
is
said
an
you would
angle
be
on which
right there
Trump
with
is
them.
usually kind of
The
weak.
country and the
He's-
world saw what
he
played out
kind
at the
of word
Capitol that day,
salads
the
himself.
officers coming under attack.
We'll see if
Aides in the West Wing
Obama
say you
can
watched
take
it unfold on
advantage.
television off the Oval Office. You did send out tweets, but it was more than
Now
2
I'm
hours
questioning
before
whether
you
Weasel
sent out
was
that
on
video message telling your
Kamaldup.
supporters to go home. Is there anything you regret about what you did on that day?
You just said a thing that isn't covered. Peacefully and patriotically, I said during my speech, not later on. Peacefully and patriotically. And nobody on the other side was killed. Ashley Babbitt was shot by an out-of-control police officer that should have never, ever shot her. It's a disgrace. But we didn't do this group of people that have been treated so badly. I ask, what about all the people that are pouring into our country and killing people?
I appreciate it. I don't know how it plays in the
She was the
national
border
media.
czar.
but-
Remember that. She was the border czar. She doesn't want
Dump's
to be
hair
called the
is
border
on
czar
fleek.
because
It's
she's
so good.
embarrassed by the
Dump's
border.
hair
In
is on
fact, she said at the beginning, well, I'm surprised you're not talking about the border yet. That's because she knows what a bad job they've done. What about those people? When are they going to be prosecuted? When are these people from countries all over the world, not just South America? They're coming in from all over the world, David, all over the world. And crime rates are down all over the world because of it.
But let me just
when
ask
are those, David, when
There
are
will
those
be- there
people
will be a
going to be
righteous
prosecuted?
reckoning.
When are the people that burned down Minneapolis going to be
do some-
prosecuted?
That's true.
Or in Seattle. They went into
We're gonna do
Seattle.
some
They
fun
took
stuff
over
with
a
some of
big
them, too.
percentage of
When
the
are the
city
people
of
who
Seattle.
burned down the
When are
Minneapolis
those people
police
going to be
union
prosecuted?
But let me just ask
You might ask her that question.
You were the president.
because they
You
were
watching it
specifically
unfold on
endorsed by the
television.
regime
It's a
to
very
do it
simple
as an
question
assault
as we move
upon
forward toward another election.
incumbent Americans.
Is there anything you
There
regret
isn't.
about what you did on that day?
We aren't.
Yes, sir.
I had nothing to
It
do
isn't a
with that
legitimate
other than
government.
they asked me to make a speech. I showed up for a speech. I said, I think it's going to be big. I went to Nancy
That's kinda
Pelosi
fucked,
and the
man.
mayor of
She's,
Washington, D.C., and the mayor put it back in writing, as you know. I said, you know,
I remember
this is going to be
watching
a very
fucking,
big
Baked
rally
Alaska.
or whatever you want to call it.
Baked
And again,
Alaska,
it
go in
wasn't
there
done
and-
by me. It was done by others. I
Hello,
said,
police
I'd like
department.
to give you 10,000
It was kinda
National
keto.
Guard or soldiers. They rejected me. Nancy Pelosi rejected me. It was just 2 weeks ago. Her daughter has a tape of her saying she is fully responsible for what happened. They want to get rid of that tape. It would have never happened if Nancy Pelosi and the mayor of Washington did their jobs. I wasn't responsible for security. Nancy Pelosi was responsible. She didn't do her job.
The question was about you as president, not about former Speaker Pelosi.
Clearly,
but I do
the
want Vice
answer
President
is
Harris
that
to
he did
respond here.
nothing wrong. That's what he said. Do you
I was at the
regret
Capitol on
anything?
January
No, he
6th.
doesn't regret anything.
I was the vice president-elect. I was also
Well, no, he
an acting
assaulted
senator.
the
I was
incumbent
there.
powers of democracy.
And on that day, the
Yeah.
president of the United States incited a violent mob to attack our nation's capital,
Moment. Yeah, and, well then, but then he
to
like
desecrate
snitched
We
our
never got
nation's
tagged in
capital.
January
On
6th.
that
That's
day,
true.
140
Where's the
law enforcement officers were injured.
I don't think
some
gender
died.
plays anymore. Like the
And
only base that really buys it is probably like
former
the
president
hardcore,
has
like,
been indicted and impeached for exactly that reason.
Fuck gives a shit about
But
January
this is
6th.
not an
like,
isolated
like
situation.
Jeff said, like nobody
Let's
died
remember
besides like people
Charlottesville.
from
General
the
Flynn,
where
controlling the
there
country
was a
secretly,
mob of
secret
people
fascist
carrying tiki
General
torches,
Flynn, Michael Flynn, controlling
spewing
the country.
anti-Semitic hate.
But the
And
blue
what
anon
did
conspiracy.
the president then at the
true
time
deep state.
say? There were fine people
Michael
on each
Flynn.
side. Let's remember.
Bring back Charlottesville.
When it
Richard
came to the Proud
Spencer.
Boys, a militia.
2016.
The president
it's
said, the
Gamergate
former
2.
president said, stand back and
Charlottesville
stand by.
leads to-
Charlottesville.
So for
well, that
everyone
must be
watching who remembers
He's
what
like, this
January 6th
Gamergate.
was,
You know, I like Gamergate. I like
say
that guy.
we don't
Sargon
have
of
to go
Akkad,
back.
That was his name. He was kind of.
let's not go
Like,
back.
I
We're
don't
not
think-
going back. It's
Like,
time
most
to
people, I
turn the
don't think even
page.
know what Charlottesville is,
And if
right?
that was a
kinda
bridge
like,
too far for
who
you, well,
gives a
there is
shit?
a place
It's really
in
Yeah,
pulling
the-
our
back on
campaign
this.
for
They had
you
the heckin',
to
they had the heckin'
stand
tiki
Kind of
torches.
desperate. And
for
Beckett, probably
country,
not really.
to
Five
stand
guys,
for our
Five
democracy, to
guys with
stand
fries,
for
okay?
rule
Five
of
guys with
law,
fries.
That was a
and to
racist
end the
protest.
chaos.
Oh my God, that's so
and
bad.
to end
Oh.
Kamala
the
must mention
approach
feminist
that is
frequency
about
and then
attacking the
Rosie and
foundations
we
of
will-
our
we will
democracy because you don't like the
routinely
outcome.
repeat.
And be clear on that point.
You will not be
Donald Trump, the
TFOS.
candidate, has
Those
said in
two
this
voices.
election there will be a
Her voice is
bloodbath.
fried.
If this
probably
and the
done too
outcome of
many
this
yelling at her
election
prep.
is not to his liking,
Beautiful.
let's turn the page
You
on
hear it?
this.
It's like-
Let's not go back. Let's chart a course
No,
for
no,
the
I'm not. I'm
future
muting it every time she
and not
speaks.
go
Like I'm not.
backwards to the
I haven't heard a
past.
single word
Let me
she
just
said.
follow up here.
I haven't heard a single
It
thing.
was
Like, I'm
a
just-
different term, and it was a term that related to energy because they have destroyed our energy business. That was where bloodbath was. Also, one
That's where the
Charlottesville.
white power
That
comes from,
story
right?
has been,
The
as you
energy
would say,
business.
debunked.
The energy
Laura
business, okay.
Ingram, Sean Hannity.
I mean, you got
Jesse,
green power, you
all
got
of
white
these
power,
people,
you got-
they covered it. If they go an extra sentence, they will see it
And
was
what-
perfect.
what the hell
it was
is this
debunked
black
in
power
almost
stuff? Is it
every
like dark
newspaper,
matter?
but
Like,
they
what's
still
going
bring
on?
it up, just like they
Well, you
bring
don't want that. It's
2025
bad.
up. They bring
It's
all of
bad
this stuff
and
up.
it's
I ask you
mysterious.
this. You
We
talk
don't know
about
what it does.
the Capitol.
Mystery.
Why are we allowing
Oh.
these millions of people to come through on
He just
the
keeps
southern
pivoting
border? How
back
come
to
she's not
the
doing
border,
anything?
which is
And I'll
just-
tell you what I would
Hey,
do,
it's kind
and I
of
would
funny.
be very
I
proud
mean,
to do it.
I'm sure
I would
it's
say we
probably
would
plays
both
well with
leave
voters.
this
It's less
debate
interesting
right
to us,
now.
maybe, but-
I'd like to see her go down to Washington, D.C. during this debate because we're wasting a lot of time. Go
You know,
down
they
to
trepanate
because
these
she's been
babies,
so
but
bad,
what
it's so
they do at the
ridiculous.
border, it's even
Go
worse,
down to
okay? They
Washington,
ship 'em
D.C.
out there and
and
they
let her
trepanate them on
sign
the
a bill to
airplanes,
close
okay?
up the border because they have the
Ship
right
them
to
wherever,
do it.
they
They
ship
don't
them all
need
across the
bills.
country.
They have the right to do it. The
it is
president of the
fantastic.
United States,
So,
you'll get him out of bed, you'll wake
Did
him
you
up
get
at
him
4
out of
o'clock in
bed?
the
Oh,
afternoon, you say, come on down to the office, let's sign a bill. If he signs a bill that the border is closed, all he has to do is say it to the Border Patrol, who are phenomenal. If they do that, the border is closed.
Mr.
Those
President,
people are killing many people, unlike J6.
We talked immigration here tonight. I do want to
T-Man
focus
comment.
on this next issue to both of you
T-Man
because it really
last,
brings
T-Man
us
comment.
this into focus, truth in these times that we're living in. Mr. President, for 3.5 years after you lost the 2020 election, you repeatedly falsely claimed that you won, many times
Brett
saying
is
you
not
won
looking
in
too
a
happy.
landslide.
Brett is
in the past couple of weeks leading up to
reflecting.
this debate, you have said, quote,
Brat's
you lost
rolling
by
her
a
eyes.
whisker,
It's
that you, quote,
amazing.
didn't quite make it, that you came up a little bit short.
I said that?
Are you now acknowledging that you lost in 2020?
No, I don't acknowledge that at all.
But
I
you
said
did
that
say
sarcastically.
But
You know
those-
that. It was said, oh, we lost by a whisker. That was said sarcastically. Look, there's so much proof. All you have to do is look at it. And they should have sent it back to the legislatures for approval. I got almost
this just an
75
hour-long
million
debate, like,
votes, the
straight
most
through?
votes
Hour and a half
any
long.
sitting president
It's
has
been
ever
an
had.
hour
I
already,
was
though,
told
yeah.
if I got
It's going for
63,
90
which
minutes.
is what I got in 2016, you can't be beaten. The election, people should never be thinking about it. An election is fraudulent. We need two things. We need walls. And we have to have it. We have to have borders. And we have to have good
trailed
elections.
off here.
Our
Bad moment
elections
for Doug.
are bad. And a lot of these illegal immigrants coming in, they're trying to get
didn't
them
get
to
his
vote.
point out
They can't
particularly
even speak
clearly, and then
English. They don't
he
even
went
know
back
what
to
country they're in
immigration, which,
practically.
like,
And
yeah,
these
okay,
people are
buddy,
trying to
it's-
get them to vote. And that's why they're
Well, if
allowing
you-
them to come into our
the
country.
oldies, if the oldies are
all of these
goodies,
pieces of
you
video. I
don't
didn't
stop playing
detect the
them, okay?
sarcasm. Lost by a whisker. We didn't quite make it. And we should just point out here as clarification, and you know this, you and your allies, 60 cases in front of many judges, many of them
No
Republican,
judge looked at it.
and said
They
there was
said
no
we didn't have have standing. That's the other thing. They said we didn't have standing, a technicality. Can you imagine a system where a person in an election doesn't have standing? The president of the United States doesn't have standing. That's how we lost.
She hit it
If you
hard.
look at the facts, and I'd
Hit it
love
fast,
to
hit
have
it
you
hard.
do a special on it, I'll show you Georgia, and I'll show you Wisconsin, and I'll show you Pennsylvania, and I'll show you. We have so many facts and statistics, but you know what? That doesn't matter, because we have to solve the problem that we have right now. That's old news, and the problem that we have right now is we have a nation in decline, and they have put it into decline. We have a nation that is dying, David.
Mr. President, thank you. Vice President Harris, you heard the president there tonight. He said he didn't say that he lost by whiskers, so he still believes he did not lose the election that was won by President Biden and yourself. But I do want to ask you about something that's come up in the last couple of days. This was a post from President Trump about this upcoming election just weeks away. He said, when I win, those people who cheated, and then he lists donors, voters, election officials, he says will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, which will include long-term prison sentences. One of your campaign's top lawyers responded saying, we won't let Donald Trump intimidate us, we won't let him suppress the vote. Is that what you believe he's trying to do here?
Donald Trump was fired by 81 million people. So let's be clear about that. And clearly he is having a very difficult time processing that. But we cannot afford to have a president of the United States who attempts, as he did in the past, to upend the will of the voters in a free and fair election. And I'm going to tell you that I have traveled the world as Vice President of the United States.
I'm getting a little tired of it.
And world leaders are laughing
I can't
at
handle
Donald Trump.
90 minutes of debate. I'm gonna go sleepy. I'm so sleepy.
And they say you're a disgrace.
No, Weasel's
And when you then
Weasel's
talk
on
in this
the
way,
Kamaldup
in a
transition
presidential
team,
debate, and
almost called her a slur like what?
when over and over again are court cases you
Nerd.
have lost because you did in fact lose that election. It leads one to believe that perhaps we do not have in the candidate to my right the temperament or the ability to not be confused about fact. That's deeply troubling, and the American people deserve better.
I'll give you 1 minute to respond, Mr. President.
Let me just say about world leaders. Viktor Orban, one of the most respected men, they call him a strong man. He's a tough person. Smart. Prime Minister of Hungary. They said, why is the whole world blowing up? 3 years ago it wasn't. Why is it blowing up? He said, because you need Trump back as president. They were afraid of him. China was afraid, and I don't like to use the word afraid, but I'm just quoting him. China was afraid of him. North Korea was afraid of him. Look at what's going on with North Korea, by the way. He said Russia was afraid of him. I ended the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, and Biden put it back on day one, but he ended the XL pipeline. The XL pipeline in our country, he ended that. But he let the Russians build a pipeline going all over Europe and heading into Germany, the biggest pipeline in the world. Look, Viktor Orban said it. He said the most respected, most feared person is Donald Trump. We had no problems when Trump was president, but when this weak, pathetic man that you saw at a debate just a few months ago, that if he weren't in that debate, he'd be running instead of her. She got no votes. He got 14 million votes. What you did, you talk about a threat to democracy. He got 14 million votes, and they threw him out of office. And you know what? I'll give you a little secret. He hates her. He can't stand her. But he got 14 million votes. They threw him out. She got 0 votes. And when she ran, she was the first one to leave because she failed. And now she's running.
I'm listening to Doug.
I don't understand it, but I'm okay with it because
your time is
I think we're going to do very well.
We've got a lot more to get.
Turning now to the Israel-Hamas war.
Israel, not Jews.
Vice President Harris, in December, you said, quote, Israel has a right to defend itself.
We're here, everybody. Strap
it
on
matters
in.
how. Saying international humanitarian law must be respected. Israel must do more to protect innocent civilians. You said that 9 months ago. Now an estimated 40,000 Palestinians are dead. Nearly 100 hostages remain. Just last week, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said there's not a deal in the making. President Biden has not been able to break through the stalemate. How would you do it?
Well, let's understand how we got here. On October 7th,
Trump is about to get a nuclear level BTFO.
a terrorist
we call
organization,
it can be a Samson Doctrine BTFO, okay?
slaughtered 1,200 Israelis. Many of them young people who were simply attending a concert. Women were horribly raped. And so, absolutely, I said that.
I'm gonna take a big bomb and I'm gonna fly it over Palestine, and we're just gonna drop it on them, and it's gonna be wiped off the face of the earth. Bye.
True. Far too many innocent Palestinians have been killed. Children, mothers. What we know is that this war must end. It must end immediately, and the way it will end is we need a ceasefire deal and we need the hostages out. And so we will continue to work around the clock on that. Work around the clock, also understanding that we must chart a course for a two-state solution. And in that solution, there must be security for the Israeli people and Israel, and an equal measure for the Palestinians. But the one thing I will assure you always, I will always give Israel the ability to defend itself, in particular as it relates to Iran and any threat that Iran and its proxies pose to Israel. But we must have a two-state solution where we can rebuild Gaza.
Yeah, it was like $5 billion. Yes,
have security,
humanitarian
self-determination, and the dignity they so rightly deserve.
Literally, I think the guy who was covered for them was like, well, this money certainly didn't get allocated toward the October 7th attack. And it's like, dude,
prevent the killing of more innocent civilians in Gaza.
What do you read?
If I were president, it would have never started. If I were president, Russia would have never, ever. I know Putin very well. He would have never, and there was no threat of it either, by the way, for 4 years, have gone into Ukraine and killed millions of people when you add it up. Far worse than people understand what's going on over there.
That is honorary.
But when she mentions about Israel, all of a sudden, she hates Israel. She wouldn't even meet with Netanyahu when he went to Congress to make a very important speech. She refused to be there because she was at a sorority party of hers. She wanted to go to the sorority party. She hates Israel. If she's president, I believe that Israel will not exist within 2 years from now. And
damn, that's a bad line. Bad line, Doug. You're making me want to vote Kamala. That's a Kamala pro.
She hates the Arab population because the whole place is going to get blown up. Arabs, Jewish people, Israel will be gone. It would have never happened. Iran was broke under Donald Trump. Now Iran has $300 billion because they took off all the sanctions that I had. Iran had no money for Hamas,
because of the Jews, now I'm all for 25% unrealized capital gains tax.
Terror. And they are spheres of terror, horrible terror. They had no money. It was a big story, and you know, you covered it very well, actually. They had no money for terror. They were broke. Now they're a rich nation, and now what they're doing is they're spreading that money around. Look at what's happening with the Houthis and Yemen. Look at what's going on in the Middle East. This would have never happened. I will get that settled and fast, and I'll get the war.
Kamaldup is way better here. He has an actually coherent point, where Obama is just trying to play both sides, which just looks very, very poorly.
President. Vice President Harris.
Well, the check for me from the Talmud Network cleared. I've got my Peter Thiel money.
I have my entire career in life supported Israel and the Israeli people. He knows that. He's trying to again divide and distract from the reality, which is it is very well known that Donald Trump is weak and wrong on national security and foreign policy. It is well known that he admires dictators, wants to be a dictator on day one, according to himself. It is well known that he said of Putin that he can do whatever the hell he wants and go into Ukraine. It is well known that he said when Russia went into Ukraine, it was
if you can control the new Houthis, I mean,
it is well known he exchanged love letters with Kim Jong-un. And it is absolutely well known that these dictators and autocrats are rooting for you to be president again because they're so clear.
And, you know, much like ISIS, they're a useful proxy group you can use to destabilize regions that you want destabilized for whatever reason.
And that is why.
But, I mean, I don't know enough about the Houthis to know who's paying for them now. The implication is that Iran's doing it.
I don't know enough to
I think a lot of them, like pretty much Iran is like the proxy.
We have to have a president who is not consistently weak and wrong.
She's drinking the booze.
Importance of upholding and respecting in highest regard
she's got the DSP water bottle. The water bottle.
She's the one was going to be popping mollies before the debate.
On national security by allowing every nation last month for the year, 168 different countries sending people into our country. Their crime rates are way down. Putin endorsed her last week, said, I hope she wins. And I think he meant it, because what he's gotten away with is absolutely incredible. It wouldn't have happened with me. The leaders of other countries think that they're weak and incompetent, and they are. They're grossly incompetent. And I just ask one question. Why does Biden go in and kill the Keystone Pipeline and approve the single biggest deal that Russia's ever made, Nord Stream 2, the biggest pipeline anywhere in the world going to Germany?
In a different universe, Kamala would be like a female
because they're
DSP,
weak and they're ineffective.
You know what I mean?
And Biden,
Maybe
by the
this
way,
one she
paid
is.
a lot of money.
Thank you. We have a lot of issues to get
You know?
We'll be right back with much more of this historic ABC News presidential debate
I
from the
mean, I'm
National
sure somebody could
Constitution
make a
Center
law
right here
for
in
that and make
Philadelphia.
cool
Back in a
AI stuff, but
All right, we got a
fat
commercial
Kamala
break here,
Harris
folks. Got a
that
commercial break here. We'll put the music
playing
back
video.
on. Yeah, Weasel.
All right,
We're on a
whatever.
commercial
All right,
break.
the chat. Press 1 if the lion is up, and press 2 if.
No, I'll make a
you
poll. I'll make a
despise-
poll.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We despise that.
I'd say Dup. He handled the debate extremely well for most of it. Maybe like 20% he kind of fucked up, and Kamala just kind of plotted and pondered. She had a couple moments where she kind of showed and was really like lecturing, but I mean, you could tell easily because they would zoom in the camera just on her to make it look more ominous and important that she was schooling the Doppler.
The Doppler.
But,
we love the Doppler. He's
the Doppler,
sticking out your BTFO for the Doppler. I just gotta say, this is not.
Who's gonna be convinced either way?
It's tough because I'm very biased, right, in favor of DUP. I believe in DUP. I believe in the policies of DUP. This is what, I'm on his side. So it's hard for me to kind of be objective with this and say how he was doing. However, I feel like the energy so far has been mostly on his side. He's been talking more. He's had more chance to speak his points. He's had a good couple of beatdowns on her. He even did the "I'm speaking now" thing to her, which that was kind of like a reversal. We weren't expecting that, and he did it. He did it to her instead, and that was kind of amazing, I think.
Even beating down on the debate host, which is just like an incredible feat. Like even they just cowered. It's just great.
Yeah, and I think Kamala's had some like pre-rehearsed speeches that she's gone through, and I think this is a genuine weakness of her as a debater. When she's doing her pre-rehearsed speeches, she sounds okay and she's delivering it, but she can't respond to what he's saying, right? Because DUP is a very active and like improvisational like speaker, right? And she clearly is not. She has, in isolation, they may like take like clips from this and it may make her look better, but as a whole, there's lots of things where he'll say where he's beating down on her, and she should probably respond and fight back on him, right? Like he'll say that she's doing this and this, and she'll just won't ignore him and she'll do her speech, right? And that's bad because I don't think it's not like, I don't know, does that make sense? Like what I'm saying, like she is essentially not addressing what he's saying. Right?
Yeah.
She's not debating him. She's
passive.
using this as a place to like do her speech, right? She's not responding. She's just
stumping.
Which is a problem against DUP.
Okay, but a lot of her speeches sound very fake. And that's something that people are going to pick up on. At least it does affect a good amount of people.
You can say what you will about Biden.
The emotions she's emoting oftentimes don't line up with what she's saying. And she just, I don't know.
All right. Well, fellas,
Kamala has a bullshitting.
Fellas, though, the counterpoint here.
Jews, that's right. Israel wiped off the map within 2 years of Kamala. Is that a reason to vote? Is that given the wrong sign?
Is that a reason for a 586% unrealized capital gains tax that definitely won't be applied to us? Only those pesky
for a tiny training thing for old people to boost circulation.
Yes, this is really fucking funny. To respond to some of her best moments.
What I mostly wonder about, like, I suspect that people that genuinely aren't decided of who there really can't be that many are probably inclined to see Trump as a stronger choice here. And if they feel like somewhat pressured in their life because, crime rates around them, things like that, they're probably going to turn to DUP. If they live in a liberal bubble, well, they're probably already voting Democrat anyway.
Yeah.
But
I just think, to me, the only way that, because okay, like Biden, at least with Biden and Hill Dog, when they debated Trump, they would do their speeches, but then they would respond to him, and they'd fire back on him. They were able to debate with him, and Dump usually swamped them. He usually overtake them, but she's not even really debating him. She's just like, he's saying stuff about her that's like aggressive, and probably she like, there's even stuff that I can kind of admit in my head that's probably not 100% true of Kamala. He's probably like making some shit up, and she's just letting him do it. She's letting him fucking
the Italian excess Kamala is on HRT, chasing Big Mike's dream, He
doesn't respond to the accusations and just immediately goes on the attack on him.
Or like,
and there is a certain logic to doing that, especially if like you know that you're gonna look like shit trying to like actually defend these points.
National
But it also,
Center
you know,
in
people are
Philadelphia,
gonna pick up on it that you actually didn't say anything.
we are back from the break.
Welcome back to this historic ABC News presidential debate tonight. We're going to continue here, and I want to turn to the war in Ukraine. We're now 2.5 years into this conflict. Mr. President, it has been the position of the Biden administration that we must defend Ukraine from Russia, from Vladimir Putin, to defend their sovereignty, their democracy, that it's in America's best interest to do so, arguing that if Putin wins, he may be emboldened to move even further into other countries. You have said you would solve this war in 24 hours. You said so just before the break tonight. How exactly would you do that? And I want to ask you a very simple question tonight. Do you want Ukraine to win this war?
I want the war to stop. I want to save lives that are being uselessly, people being killed by the millions. It's the millions. It's so much worse than the numbers that you're getting, which are fake numbers. Look, we're in for 250 billion or more because they don't ask Europe, which is a much bigger beneficiary to getting this thing done than we are. They're in for $150 billion less because Biden and you don't have the courage to ask Europe like I did with NATO. They paid billions and billions, hundreds of billions of dollars when I said, either you pay us or we're not going to protect you anymore. So that's maybe one of the reasons that don't like me as much as they like weak people. But you take a look at what's happening. We're in for 250 to 275 billion. They're into 100 to 150. They should be forced to equalize. With that being said, I want to get the war settled. I know Zelensky very well, and I know Putin very well. I have a good relationship, and they respect your president. Okay, they respect me. They don't respect Biden. How would you respect him? He hasn't even made a phone call in 2 years to Putin. Hasn't spoken to anybody. They don't even try to get it. That is a war that's dying to be settled. I will get it settled before I even become president. If I win, when I'm president-elect, and what I'll do is I'll speak to one, I'll speak to the other, I'll get them together. That war would have never happened.
Like this entire debate, he's been
after I left. Unfortunately left because our country has gone to hell. But after I left, when I saw him building up, he did it after I left. I said, oh, he must be negotiating. It must be a good, strong point of negotiation. Well, it wasn't, because Biden had no idea how to talk to him. He had no idea how to stop it. And now you have millions of people dead, and it's only getting worse, and it could lead to World War III. Don't kid yourself, David. We're playing with World War III, and we have a president that we don't
You've seen the video where like he's talking, where they like kicked out Sleepy Joe, where he's like, they're gonna replace him with Kamala, and he's like, she's so fucking bad.
But we have a president.
I think he's just like really does not fucking like her. Your time is such a fucking,
just to clarify the question. Do you believe it's in the U.S. best interest for Ukraine to win this war? Yes or no?
Yeah, it's like this his video. I guess somebody from his team leaked it or something. People were like,
negotiate a deal because we have to stop all of these human lives from being destroyed.
I want to take this to Vice President Harris. I want to get your thoughts on support for Ukraine in this moment, but also as Commander-in-Chief, if elected, how would you deal with Vladimir Putin, and would it be any different from what we're seeing from President Biden?
Well, first of all, it's important to remind the former president you're not running against Joe Biden, you're running against me. I believe the reason that Donald Trump says that this war would be over within 24 hours is because he would just give it up. And that's not who we are as Americans. Let's understand what happened here. I actually met with Zelensky a few days before Russia invaded tried through force to change territorial boundaries, to defy one of the most important international rules and norms, which is the importance of sovereignty and territorial integrity. And I met with President Zelensky. I shared with him American intelligence about how he could defend himself.
You have to wipe Russia off the map. What is winning? Okay, what do you define?
How are you going to solve it, and how is it going to be different from Biden?
We brought 50 countries together to support Ukraine in its righteous defense. And because of our support, because of the air defense, the ammunition, the artillery, the javelins, the Abrams tanks that we have provided, Ukraine stands as an independent and free country. If Donald Trump were president, Putin would be sitting in Kyiv right now. And understand what that would mean, because Putin's agenda
he wouldn't have invaded.
is not just about Ukraine. Understand why the European allies and our NATO allies are so thankful that you are no longer president,
they invaded during Obama,
and that
they invaded during Biden,
understand the importance of the greatest military alliance the world has ever known, which is NATO, and what we have done to preserve the ability of Zelensky and the Ukrainians to fight for their independence. Otherwise, Putin would be sitting in Kyiv with his eyes on the rest of Europe, starting with Poland. And why don't you tell the 800,000 Polish Americans right here in Pennsylvania how quickly you would give up for the sake of favor and what you think is a friendship with what is known to be a dictator who would eat you for lunch.
The poor fucking
Vice President Harris, thank you. We've heard from both of you on Ukraine tonight. Afghanistan
it would be a crime against humanity.
I wanted her to respond to something you said earlier.
Press gang the nips,
please,
like they did the Ukrainians.
Putin would be sitting in Moscow, and he wouldn't have lost 300,000 men and women, but he would have been sitting in Moscow. Quiet, please. He would have been sitting in Moscow, much happier than he is right now. But eventually, you know, he's got a thing that other people don't have. He's got nuclear weapons. They don't ever talk about that. He's got nuclear weapons. Nobody ever thinks about that. And
Ralph Avail mode. I like the Ralph
maybe he'll
Avail
use
mode.
him, and maybe he hasn't
Trump
been
must
that
take
threatening.
inspiration from the king of the
He does
sector.
have that. Something we don't even like to talk about.
He's not even
Nobody
raging
likes
that
to
hard
talk
right
about
now,
it.
and
But
he
just
just
so you
flapped
understand,
away like
they
a
sent her to
gnat buzzing
negotiate
around
peace
his
before
head.
this war started.
Harris is
3
pro
days
Anna.
later,
Harris
he
is
went
so
in
true
and he
Italian.
started the war
Harris is
because
pro Anna.
everything they said was weak and stupid. They said the wrong things. That war should have never started. She was the emissary.
So pro
they sent her
anaphylactic
in to
shock
negotiate
from
with
drinking
Zelensky and
complete
Putin.
liver shutdown.
And she
Complete
did.
liver failure.
And the war started 3 days later. And that's the kind of talent we have with her.
Joker,
She's worse
baby.
than Biden. In my opinion, I think he's the worst president in the history of our country. She goes down as the worst vice president in the history of our country. But let me tell you something. She is a horrible negotiator. They sent her in to negotiate. As soon as they left, Putin did the invasion.
President Trump, thank you. You did bring up something. You said she went to negotiate with Vladimir Putin. Vice President Harris, have you ever met Vladimir Putin? Can you clarify tonight?
Yet again, I said it at the beginning of this debate, you're going to hear a bunch of lies coming from this fellow. And that is another one. When I went to meet with President Zelensky, I've now met with him over 5 times.
5
the reality
times?
is, it
That's
has
not a
been
lot for a
about
guy we're
standing
in a
as
military
America
alliance
always
with,
should.
right? 5 times is not a
As
lot. I'm just
leader
being honest. It's like saying like you met with
international
fucking
rules and norms.
you know you met
as a
with
leader
Churchill
who
5
shows
times.
strength,
Why
understanding
she
that
actually
the
went there.
alliances
She
we
said
have
she went there
around
5
the
times,
world
but
are dependent
Okay.
on our ability to look out for
you're
our
just there 5
friends
times for
and
no
not
reason?
favor our enemies because you adore strong men instead of caring about democracy. And that is very much what is at stake here. The President of the United States is commander-in-chief. And the American people
Fishman
have a
5678
right to
is spreading the
rely
gospel of Sneeko.
on a president
We love it. We love
who
to see it, okay?
understands the significance of America's role and responsibility in terms of
14 more
ensuring
minutes
that
left.
there is
They gotta-
stability
and I'm
and
probably gonna
ensuring
end
we
on a topic
stand
that's
up
bad,
for
so
our principles and
we're gonna
not
try to
sell
at
them
least.
for the benefit of personal
What the hell can
flattery.
we even talk about?
We've talked
after
about
this?
Ukraine and Vladimir Putin. I do
What
want to
else-
talk about
what else is
Afghanistan.
on the
It came up
docket? I guess
in the first hour
China.
of this debate.
China.
I want to move on to Afghanistan.
Stoltenberg said Trump did the most amazing thing I've ever seen. He got these countries, the 28 countries at the time, to pay up. He said, I've never seen, he's the head of NATO. He said, I've never seen, for years we were paying almost
Kamala
all
is a
of
seed
NATO.
bank.
We were
She's a
being
seed
ripped
bank
off
of
by
men's
European
genetic material.
nations,
It's
both
kind of
on
insane,
trade
like that
and on
seed bank
NATO.
in the Arctic.
I got them to pay up by
and
saying one of the statements you made
not
before,
so good.
if you don't pay, we're not going to protect you.
President
Otherwise,
Trump.
we would have never gotten it. He said it was one of the most incredible jobs that he's ever seen done.
Thank you. I want to turn to Afghanistan. It came up in the first hour of the debate,
Yeah,
and we witnessed a
didn't we already
poignant
do
moment today on
Afghanistan?
Capitol Hill
I
honoring
guess
the
maybe you
soldiers
just
who
mentioned it
died
past
in the
it.
chaotic withdrawal from Afghanistan. I do want to ask the Vice President, do you believe you bear any responsibility in the way that withdrawal played out?
Well, I will tell you, I agreed with President Biden's decision to pull out of
The
Afghanistan.
Taliban, the learned ones,
Four
I kind of like
presidents
the learned ones.
said they
Okay.
would, and Joe
Pull
Biden
out.
did. And as a
But
result,
are you going to say that you
America's
didn't
taxpayers are not
like the way he
paying the
did it?
$300 million a day we were paying for that
Well, what
endless
happened is he
war.
attempted to pull out at the
And
end
as of today,
his term
there
when
is not
Corn Pop was still in the
one
election, but
member
all
of
the
the
generals
United States
stonewalled him.
military
Like he
who
basically
is
got
in
stonewalled by his
active
own. So
duty
really, it's like
in
the
a
blood
combat
is.
zone in
I don't
any
even know
war
if it's
zone
correct to
around
say
the
that
world
the
the
blood
first
is
time this
necessarily
century.
on the hands of the
But
Corn
let's
Pop
understand
administration.
how we
It's on the
got
hands of those generals
to
who
where we
need to
are.
get pulled out, right?
Donald Trump, when he was president,
gotten out anyway.
negotiated one of the
but they should have,
weakest
you know,
deals you can imagine.
done
He
it in a
calls
better
himself
way
a deal
where you're not
maker.
literally having
Even
the
his
Taliban
national
overrun
security
your
advisor
shit and
said
create a PR
it was a
disaster
weak,
for you.
terrible deal.
But I
And
mean,
here's how it
ultimately,
went
like
down.
But just
what,
it
couple
just
months?
wasn't going to be
the
possible
Afghan
because
government.
nobody was going to live. Like
He negotiated
people
directly
were out of
with a
contact with his
terrorist
ally at that
organization
point,
called the Taliban. The negotiation
So I
involved
guess
the
it is the
Taliban
fault
getting
of the Biden
5,000
administration.
Taliban terrorists released. And get this, get this. And the president at the time invited the Taliban to Camp David, a place of storied significance for us as Americans, a place where we honor the importance of American diplomacy, where we invite and receive respected world
we have to
leaders.
kill them and give them gay sex for
The fact
democracy.
that he can actually do
Isn't there the
diplomacy.
Taliban the ones who are in charge of
as
Afghanistan? Aren't they
president,
in charge of
invited
the
them
Afghanistan government?
to
Like,
Camp
they are the
David,
Afghanistan government,
because he
right?
does
Like we
not,
lost the
again,
war, so they're the
appreciate the
Afghanistan
role
government.
and responsibility
Yes,
of the
yes,
president
indeed.
of the United
But because
States
they're
to
evil,
be
heckin'
commander-in-chief with a
not
level
nice,
of respect.
no democracy people
And
who
this gets
don't
back
put
to the
condoms
point of
on
how
bananas
he has
and teach
consistently
little children anal
disparaged
sex.
and demeaned
They're-
members of
they're
our military,
enemies of the- they're
fallen
enemies of democracy
soldiers,
people.
and the
I
work
mean,
that
this
we
is just
must
like,
do to
you know.
uphold the strength
Right,
and
like-
the
Well, I mean,
respect of the
Afghanistan
United
is a
States of
might makes
America
right
around the
country,
world.
Vice
and
President
it's
Harris,
the
thank
most
you.
powerful
President Trump, your
military
response
faction
to
there.
her
You
saying
can't
that you
really
began
get
the
around it.
negotiations
Yeah, thank
with the
you.
Taliban.
Yeah,
So,
but Weasel, what about butt
if
sex?
you take a
What
look
about
at that
eternal
period
butt
of
sex
time,
forever? What about
the
pig slaughter?
Taliban was
Don't worry,
killing
the Taliban's
our
fucking up the
soldiers,
little boys up
a
the
lot
ass.
of them,
They
with
got it
snipers.
tough.
And I got
Oh,
involved
Bakabazi,
with the
that's-
Taliban because
I
the
wish I was
Taliban was
lying.
doing the
Watch the
killing.
fucking
That's the
war.
fighting force
You
within
are-
Afghanistan.
you
They
are
don't bother
not
doing
gonna-
that
Lord
because, you know, they
Miles
deal
will
with
not
the
be
wrong
happy
people
when
all
he
the
hears
time.
you say that.
But
people.
I got involved. And Abdul is the head of the Taliban. He is still the head of the Taliban. And I told Abdul, don't do it anymore. You do it anymore, you're
I
gonna
think
have
it was
problems.
something in the realm of
And he
like.
said, why do you send me a picture
was like
of
a
my
couple of
house?
billion,
I said,
I
you're going to
think.
have to figure that
But it was
out,
like an
Abdul.
insane amount of
And
equipment
for
too. Like,
18
it
months,
just, like a
we
psychotic
had
number.
nobody
Like
killed.
literally, he
We did
financed
have an
their
agreement
entire
negotiated by Mike Pompeo.
It was like a $5 billion
It was a very good
airdrop,
agreement.
like,
The reason
yeah,
it was good, it was,
functional military
we were getting
equipment.
out. We would have been out faster than them, but we wouldn't have lost the
Like
soldiers.
Humvees,
We
like,
wouldn't
fuck,
have left
there were
many
planes there and
Americans
shit, like,
behind,
it
and we
was,
wouldn't
like,
have left.
nuts.
We wouldn't have left $85 billion worth of
Well, the
brand new,
sanctity of
beautiful
Camp
military
David.
equipment behind. And just to finish, they blew it. The agreement said you have to do this, and they didn't do it. They didn't do it. The agreement was terminated by us because they didn't do what they were supposed to do.
I want to move on.
And these people did the worst withdrawal, and in my opinion, the most embarrassing moment in the history of our
maybe
country.
not
And
the
by the
most
way, that's why
embarrassing, but
Russia attacked Ukraine, because they saw how incompetent she
I think that
and her boss are.
1776 thing
President Trump, thank you.
was not so good. Okay.
I want to move on now to race and politics in
Trump's
this country.
looking fired
Mr.
up
President,
now.
you recently said of Vice President Harris, quote, I didn't know she was black until a
Oh,
number of
God,
years
we're
ago
going to the
when
race
she happened to
question.
turn
Oh, this is
black,
what they're ending
and now
off
she
on,
wants to
isn't
be
it?
known as black. I want to ask a bigger picture question here
Duppykins,
tonight.
are you Cheeto
Would you
Hitler?
believe it's
Yeah.
Will you
appropriate
say
to
the
weigh in
14
on the
words?
racial identity
They
of
asked
your
him, will you
opponent.
say the 14
and I
words
don't
live?
care.
And he's like,
I don't care what she is.
I don't know what
I
14
don't
words.
care.
There are a lot of words there are a lot of 14 words.
You make a big deal out of something.
That
I
was one
couldn't
of them.
care less.
Okay.
Whatever she wants to be is okay with me.
But those were your words, so I'm
I
asking.
don't know. I don't know. I mean,
Is
all I can say
Kamaldup
is I
black?
read
Who
where she
even
was
knows? Does she even
not
know?
black.
I don't even know. Okay.
That she put out.
I'm not going to presume
And
whatever she is. It's
I'll
nice,
say
I
that.
guess.
And then I read that she was black, and that's okay. Either
he's
one was
falling
okay
into
with
that
me.
trap.
That's up to her. That's up to her.
Vice President Harris, your thoughts on
Cheeto
this?
racist, man. Heckin' Cheeto racist.
I think it's, I mean, honestly,
Black
I think
woman.
it's a tragedy
Black
that
woman.
we have someone who wants to be president who has consistently,
White
over the
supremacy.
course of his career,
White supremacy
attempted to
strikes
use
again.
race to divide the American people. You know, I do believe that the vast majority of us know that we have so much more in common than what separates us, and we don't want this kind of approach that is just constantly trying to divide us, and especially by race. And let's remember how Donald Trump started. He was land, he owned buildings, and he was investigated because he refused to rent property to black families. Let's remember, this is the same individual who took out a full-page ad in the New York Times calling for the execution
says Kamala Harris confidently,
of
killing all white
5
people.
young
That will be
black
when the
and
world is
Latino
saved, okay?
boys who were innocent, the Central Park 5.
They weren't innocent. They did it.
Took out a full-page ad calling for their execution. This is the same individual
What, the South Park
who
5?
spread
Central Park
further
5 did
lies
do it.
about the
Did
first
he
black president of the United
take
States.
out that ad? No.
And I think the American people
We're gonna get his
want better
response,
than
and the
that.
truth will be
Want better
a
than
mystery
this.
forever.
want someone who understands as
will be-
I do. I travel our country.
Dup is dead.
We see in each
oh, no,
other
now she's
a
rambling.
friend. We see in each other
We
a
see
Dup
neighbor.
is
each
alienated
other
the
a
hot
We
friend.
don't
twins.
want
It's
a
over.
leader who is
neighbor. Are you
constantly
kidding me?
trying
Oh
to
my
have
God.
Americans point their fingers at each other.
It's beautiful.
I meet with people all the time who tell me, can we please just have discourse about how we're going to invest in the aspirations and the ambitions and the dreams of the American people? Knowing that
That's what
regardless
people are
of
asking
people's
her about
color or
dreams
the
and-
language
South Park
that we're
5 did
living
tell
in,
Kennedy.
we all have the
South
same
Park
dreams and
5.
aspirations and want a president who invests in those,
They did kill
not
Kennedy,
in
it's
hate
true.
and division.
Vice President Harris, thank you. Lindsay?
President Trump, this is now your third time.
This is the
So when
most divisive
1776 happened, do you
presidency
think this was like,
in the
do
history
you
of
think
our
George
country.
Washington's
There's never been
dream
anything
250
like
years
it.
down
They're
the line
destroying
would
our
be, this
country.
is how, like, this
And they
is the
come up with
completion of the
things
American
like-
experiment?
What she just said, going back many, many years,
Right,
when a lot
when
of
they
people,
were-
including Mayor Bloomberg, agreed with me on the Central Park
Do you
fight.
think
They admitted,
that, like,
they said, they pled guilty.
Clap battle.
And I
Come
said,
on,
well,
blood.
if they pled guilty, they
Damn you.
badly hurt a person, killed a person ultimately. And if they pled guilty, then they pled, we're not guilty. But this is a person that has to stretch back years, 40, 50 years ago.
This is not- I don't
because
think
there's
he
nothing
should
now.
have
I built
replayed
one of
the
the
spotlight
greatest
on this. This is
economies
not a
in the
good
history
angle.
of the world, and I'm going to build it again. It's going to be bigger, better, and
I'm
stronger.
gonna kill the South Park 5.
But they're
I'm gonna
destroying
kill
our
them, and
economy.
then I'm gonna
They
kill
have
Kenny,
no
okay?
idea what a good economy is.
I don't know.
Their oil policies, every single
How much
policy.
time did he
And
have
remember
left?
this.
Not a lot. 5
She is
minutes.
Biden. You know, she's trying to get away from Biden. I don't know the gentleman, she
They
says.
could do a little
She is
extension. That'd be
Biden.
cool. But
The worst inflation we've
American
ever
news.
had. A horrible economy because inflation has made it so bad. And she
President.
can't get away with that.
Thank you. Your time is up,
I
Lindsay.
want to respond to that, though. I want to just respond
briefly,
briefly.
respond.
Clearly, I am not Joe Biden, and I am certainly not Donald Trump. And what I do offer is a new generation of leadership for our
Generation
country.
of leadership.
One who believes
Kalergi
in
plan
what is possible.
generation.
One who brings a sense of optimism.
Optimism.
Biden.
Look at his
What we can do
smile. Oh, this is
instead
not
of
good,
always
girl. I don't think you
disparaging
want to spread all
the
this
American
optimism when
people.
America's
I
genuinely
believe
not good.
in what
and
we can
people
do to
Italian
probably
X, are
strengthen
you so
our
sure
small
she is
businesses, which is
sans
why
diapers?
I have a plan. Let's
Tim
talk
Walz,
about
under,
our
you're right, Tim Walz.
plans.
Tim Walz
And
is big baby.
And let's
Mind your
compare
own
the
damn business.
plans.
Know my diaper.
I
Mind your
have
own
a
damn
plan
business.
to give startup businesses $50,000 tax
She
deduction.
can talk about how all this
to
Democrats'
pursue
coalition
their
of
ambitions,
COVID
their
lockdowns killed
innovation,
small
their
businesses.
ideas, their hard work. I have a plan,
Counter, but I don't know.
$6,000 for young families for the first year of your
Better
child's
have
life
himself,
to help you in that most critical stage of your child's
something new to
development.
say.
I have a plan
Yeah, he's been starting to
that
repeat
is
himself
about
a lot in immigration.
allowing
It's
people
not
to
really-
be able to pursue what has been
I don't
fleeting
know.
in terms of the American dream by offering a help with down payment of $25,000 down payment assistance for first-time home buyers.
first-time
That's
home
the
buyer
kind of
thing, wow.
conversation I believe, David,
That's really
that people
gonna
really want
balance the
tonight,
scales of-
as opposed to a conversation that is
Jeez,
constantly
housing
about
problems.
belittling and name-calling let's turn the page
Vice President
and move
Harris,
forward.
thank you. Let's turn to policy. Let's turn to
We have
policy.
to move on. President Trump.
Let's turn to policy,
She has
please.
a plan to defund the police. She has a
Smell my
plan
diaper.
to
I'm Tim Walz. Mind
confiscate
your own damn
everybody's gun.
President Trump,
she
we
has
do
a
have to
plan
move on
to
to
not
other
allow
issues.
fracking in Pennsylvania or anywhere else.
Okay,
that's what her plan is until just recently.
I just need
Lindsay,
to
go ahead.
respond because
Trump,
no, the
President
former
Trump.
president has
No,
said
I'm
something
sorry.
twice that I need to respond to.
I'm sorry.
He went with a
Move
good
on, Vice
soundbite.
President.
Something was thick.
President Trump, this is now
Multiple
your
times.
third time running for president. You
Goofy.
have
Just
long
what I
vowed
think-
to
I think
repeal
you
and
did.
replace the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. You have failed to accomplish that. You now
Daddy,
say you're
come
going
on.
to keep Obamacare, quote, unless we can do something much better. Last month, you said, quote, we're working on it. So tonight, 9 years after you first started running, do you have a plan, and can you tell us what it is?
Obamacare was lousy health care, always was. It's not very good today. And what I said, that if we come up with something, and we are working on things, we're going to do it and we're going to replace it. But remember this, I inherited Obamacare because Democrats wouldn't change it. They wouldn't vote for it. They were unanimous. They wouldn't vote to change it. If they would have done that, we would have had a much better plan than Obamacare. But the Democrats came up. They wouldn't vote for it. I had a choice to make when I was president. Do I save it and make it as good as it can be, never going to be great, or do I let it rot? And I felt I had an obligation, even though politically it would have been good to just let it rot and let it go away. I decided, and I told my people, the top people, and they're very good people. I have a lot of good people in that administration. We read about the bad ones. We had some real bad ones, too, and so do they. They have really bad ones. The difference is they don't get rid of them. But let me just explain. I had a choice to make. Do I save it and make it as good as it can be, or do I let it rot? And I saved it. I did the right thing. But it's still never going to be great, and it's too expensive for people. And what we will do is we're looking at different plans. If we can come up with a plan that's going to cost our people, our population, less money and be better health care than Obamacare, then I would absolutely do it. But until then, I'd run it as good as it can be run.
So just a yes or no, you still do not have a plan?
I have concepts of a plan. I'm not president right now. But if we come up with something, I would only change it if we come up with something that's better and less expensive. And there are concepts and options we have to do that.
Plan. You gotta have a real plan. You gotta have a plan.
In the not too distant future.
Vice President Harris, in 2017, you supported Bernie Sanders' proposal to do away with private insurance and create a government-run healthcare system. 2 years later, you proposed a plan that included a private insurance option. What is your plan today?
Well, first of all, I absolutely support, and over the last 4 years as vice president, private health care options. But what we need to do is maintain and grow the Affordable Care Act. But I'll get to that, Lindsay. I just need to respond to a previous point that the former president has made. I've made very clear my position on fracking. And then this business about taking everyone's guns away. Tim Walz and I are both gun owners. We're not taking anybody's guns away. So stop with the continuous lying about this stuff. As it relates to the
Tim Walz
Affordable
doesn't
Care
take
Act,
guns away. He said
understand,
he's going to take the
just
guns
look
away.
at the
He's
history to know where
proposing
people stand.
extreme gun control in
When Donald
Minnesota.
Trump was
Like, he has done this. I don't
60
understand this at all.
times he tried to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. 60 times. I was a senator at the time when I will never forget the early morning hours when it was up for a vote in the United States Senate. And the late, great John McCain, who you have
Hello, can you hear
disparaged
me?
Yeah.
as being
yeah, no,
you
my
don't
phone
like
was just
him,
being
you
a
said
fucking
at the
monkey.
time because
Yes, I'm
he got
listening
caught.
over
He
that
was an
fucking
American
phone.
hero. The late, great
freaks.
John McCain, I will
My
never
phone
forget
box.
that night, walked onto the Senate floor and said,
Oh, buddy, it's just
no, you
lies
don't.
now.
No, you don't. No, you don't get rid of the
Who
Affordable
knows
Care
about the
Act. You have
evils of
no
Tim Walz?
plan.
No, I mean,
And what
no,
the
Tim
Affordable
Walz
Care
is
Act has
actually
done
Big
is
Baby. Like,
eliminate
the
ability
guy
of
walks
insurance
around.
companies to deny people with
I'm
pre-existing
Big Baby.
conditions. I don't have to tell the people watching tonight, you remember what that was like?
I'm serious.
Remember
Like,
when an
this is
insurance company
spooky.
could deny if a child had asthma, if someone was a breast cancer survivor, if
Kamala
a
Harris
grandparent had
enraged
diabetes?
FBI shooter,
And
okay?
thankfully, as I've been vice president, and we, over the last 4 years, have strengthened the Affordable Care Act, we have allowed for the first time Medicare to negotiate drug prices.
NBC, you're right.
You,
And
the
her
American
name,
people.
quote unquote,
Donald
is
Trump
Big
said
Mike.
he was going to allow Medicare to
Big
negotiate
Mike coming in hot.
drug
We love
prices.
Big
He
Mike.
never did. We did.
Don't we?
And now we have capped the cost of insulin at $35 a month. Since I've been vice president, we have capped the cost of prescription medication for seniors at $2,000 a year. And when I am president, we will do that for all people, understanding that the value I bring to this is that access to health care should be a right and not just a privilege of those who can afford it. And the plan has to be to strengthen the Affordable Care Act, not get rid of it.
Vice
Past his
President
prologue
Harris, thank
in terms
you.
of where Donald Trump stands on that.
I want to move to an issue that's important for a lot
She made a
of...
mistake. At number one, John McCain fought Obamacare for 10 years.
She getting the rapid
But it wasn't
BTFO.
only him. It were all of the Democrats that kept it going. And you know what?
Moment in, that's...
We can do much better than Obamacare, much less money. But she won't improve private insurance for people, private medical insurance. That's another thing she doesn't want to get.
President
People
Trump-
are paying privately for insurance that have worked hard and made money, and they want to have private. She wants everybody to be on government insurance where you wait 6 months for an operation that you need immediately.
President Trump, thank you. We have another issue that we'd like to get to that's important for a number of Americans, in particular younger voters, and that's climate change. President Trump, with regard to the environment, you say that we have to have clean air and clean water. Vice President Harris, you call climate change an existential threat. The question to you both tonight is, what would you do to fight climate change? And Vice President Harris, we'll start with you. 1 minute for you each.
Well, the former president had said that climate change is a hoax. And what we know is that it is very real. You ask anyone who lives in a state who has experienced these extreme weather occurrences, who now is either being denied home insurance or it's being jacked up. You ask anybody who has been the victim of what that means in terms of losing their home, having nowhere to go. We know that we can actually deal with this issue. The young people of America care deeply about this issue. And I am proud that as vice president over the last 4 years, we have invested $1 trillion in a clean energy economy, while we have also increased domestic gas production to historic levels. We have created over 800,000 new manufacturing jobs while I have been vice president. We have invested in clean energy to the point that we are opening up factories around the world. Donald Trump said he was going to create manufacturing jobs. He lost manufacturing jobs. And I'm also proud to have the endorsement of the United Auto Workers and Sean Fain, who also know that part of building a clean energy economy includes investing in American-made products, American automobiles. It includes
looks like he did.
growing what we can do around American manufacturing and opening up auto plants, not closing them like happened under Donald Trump.
Vice President Harris, thank you.
It didn't happen under Donald Trump. Let me just tell you, they lost 10,000 manufacturing jobs this last month. It's going, they're all leaving. They're building big auto plants in Mexico, in many cases owned by China. They're building these massive plants, and they think they're going to sell their cars into the United States because of these people. What they have given to China is unbelievable. But we're not going to let them put tariffs on those cars so they can't come into our country, because they will kill the United Auto Workers and any auto worker, whether it's in Detroit or South Carolina or any other place. What they've done to business and manufacturing in this country is horrible. We have nothing because they refuse.
Trump's already doing better on this than I
Biden doesn't
expected
go
him to
after
be.
people because supposedly China paid him millions of
isn't it
dollars.
supposed
He's
to be
afraid
done
to
by
do
now?
it.
Like,
Between him and his son,
supposed to be done,
they get all this
but
money from
they're going a
Ukraine.
little off the
They get
time.
all
I mean,
this
it's
money
to be
from all of
expected.
these
They
different
haven't gotten
countries,
all their
and then you
topics
wonder
out, and
why
they
is
want
he
to
so
end up
loyal
reached
to
it,
this
so.
one, that one, Ukraine,
They want to
China?
end
They
Why is
might
he-
even have
why did
another
he get
topic or two after this, because they've been having a lot of time sort of going back and
Why did
forth.
he get? Why did she
they want to
pay
end on
$3.5 million?
they want to end on big
This
orange
is a
Republicans who's going
crooked
to murder our beautiful green
administration,
planet.
and they're selling our
So we
country
must carbon
down the
tax you
tubes.
President
and
Trump, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with closing statements from both of our candidates. A historic night, this ABC News presidential debate.
The debate is 90 minutes, and then they both get closing statements.
Closing statements, folks. All right. Well, let's get a quick poll going here, folks.
What the fuck is the point of the poll even? Like, obviously, Momala's not doing great. Like,
Obviously, Mamala has 180
I don't
million
think
votes
I don't
in the
think he's winning
bag.
anybody over, but I don't think Trump is really winning.
I'm thinking 220 million votes for Brad.
I don't think this debate is going to move the needle either way. It's kind of a wash.
You're right. 250
I
million
Better than I
votes.
thought they would, but it's still kind
I
of
think
a wash.
Kamala has done okay in the last couple minutes here. She's actually done okay. I feel like that if you're on Kamala's side, I think she's done okay. Obviously, I know what she's saying is bullshit, right? I know she's saying, her saying Tim Walz isn't for gun control is insane when you hear what Tim Walz is like proposed.
Yeah.
Right? He is absolutely for gun control in this country. And
mind your own damn business. Mind your own damn business.
My
favorite.
He absolutely is for gun control in this country. So much so that he lied about his service record to try and get further gun control laws passed. But regardless, I think that I think Dup has mostly BTFO'd Kamaldup, but we will see. We will see in the end who wins. I should have not named it FemDup. FemDup is apparently winning the poll. Yes, Kamala has won because FemDup is better. People like the FemDup.
That's what I'm saying, baby. 280 million votes.
Look,
280 million votes.
The first part of the debate was heavily in favor of Dup. Like I said, it's like an 80-20 split or something on like the favors there. I will say Kamala, although she hasn't been doing that great, she brought it back closer to a 50-50 for the second part.
The second half I would say is 60-40.
They cherry-picked some of those topics to be easier for her.
This is Newsmax. Well, look, it's an ad with white men for the military. That's a very interesting thing to play after.
I'm making a drink. It's not starting yet.
It's time.
Probably a couple minutes left before.
Oh my God.
Oh, for their closing statements? Oh, they cut away? That's bizarre. But look at this. Look at this ad for the military, everybody. Don't you want to go die on the? Don't you want to go die on the fucking? What's happening?
We got the Pleasure Blaster on the stream. What's up, man?
Pleasure Blaster is
we're watching
here. What's cracking?
We think. No, we're just up here at the closing statements for Dup and Kamala Lama Dup. So.
Damn it.
And they're playing an ad extolling the virtues of World War II with only white men in, which is pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. But yeah, sorry.
No. What were you asking? What were you asking, man?
Oh, did she drop like an epic coconut tree joke?
No, but Dup did do the stop. Hush. I'm talking. I'm talking right now. Like he did that to her, which was pretty funny. He reversed the roles.
That might just win. Yeah, that might be great for him. That he's the comedic genius there. He's sassing the fuck out of her. She's being kind of like, I'm joy, but also she's just kind of shit.
Fishman, you're so right. I'm suddenly overtaken with an urge to defend Israel. Like, I saw that ad and something activated in me. I have to be Germanic and get specifically drafted by the United States to go get shot by my fellow German brothers on the beaches of Normandy.
Oh yeah.
I got myself a tropical drink to celebrate.
Hey, Riz, how much you drinking tonight?
Our idol, Mo
Absolutely
Mala.
Nothing. Mo Mala. No, absolutely nothing.
Good, man.
You're sober for the debate. Sober for the debate. You gotta be locked in. You gotta lock in.
Gotta lock in. Mike Huckabee. What the? That's a name I didn't expect to see. At Newsmax.
Oh, Mike Huckabee. Well, yeah, he's been out of politics or something, right? So he's gotta have something to do.
Oh, these have a fucking these ran out of commercials. So just they have a programming resume shortly in a countdown. They don't have enough commercials to play on Newsmax.
Lexiderm.
No.
What sort of man? This Newsmax thing, Jesus. To be a boomer.
It's not a very
what a
paid
curse.
Yeah.
What a curse to be a boomer.
But yeah.
Wait, what do you have here in the thumbnail? Is that 8-bit guy holding an AK?
Yeah, it is. It's actually an AR-15. and yeah.
Which, you know Mike here is the AR-15, right?
What?
Because, he wants to look badass and be macho.
Oh,
yeah. So I think you've heard
Mamala's getting her first
very
closing statement. I really thought they would force
for our
Dup to go
country.
first, but
One that is focused on the future.
What the?
And the other that is focused
So
on
who won
the
this
past.
debate?
And an attempt to take us backward.
They're not going to move the needle
But we're
either
not
way.
going back. And
I hope there's
do
an epic
believe
rap
that
battles
the
in
American
history
people
about
know
this
we
debate.
all
That'd be
have so
awesome.
much
That'd really
more in
like
common than
kind of
what
sway me on
separates
who to
us.
vote for.
And we can
Is it epic
chart
rap
a
battle?
new way
Is that what-
forward.
Every
And a
election,
vision of
my
that
decision on who to
includes
vote for has
having
been
a
based on
plan,
epic rap battles in
understanding
history
the
cover.
aspirations, the dreams, the hopes,
Kamala,
the
she says-
ambition
That's a pretty
of the
informed
American
way.
people, which is why I
She says we're not going back.
an
But in fact,
opportunity economy,
you are going
investing
back.
in small
Kamala.
businesses, in new families, in what
You're
we
going
can
back,
do around
Weasel. You're
protecting
going back.
seniors,
You're going back
what
to
we can
your
do that is about
disgusting
giving
Transylvanian
hardworking
country.
folks a
You're
break
going
and
back.
bringing down the
eating an
cost of living.
artisanal
I believe
sausage with cheese
in
and
what
ham.
we can do together. That is about
fuck?
sustaining America's
Disgusting.
standing in the world and
so
ensuring
good.
that we have
How come
the
we should
respect
always be
that we so
playing bass
rightly
guitar like
deserve,
you used to? Mike, how come he
including
plays bass guitar?
respecting
What the-
our military and
that's-
ensuring we have the most lethal
You're
fighting
gonna be like John
force
Bolton.
in the world.
Was it John
I
Bolton?
will be a
I think it was
president
John
that will
Bolton who went
protect
to
our
the fucking
fundamental
Ukraine.
rights and freedoms,
And he's like in a
including the
fucking
right of a woman to
nightclub.
make decisions
He's
about
doing
her
like the
own
Bill
body
Clinton thing
and
where
not
he's like,
have her
I'm a
government
cool, I'm a
tell her
suave guy,
what
I
to
play
do.
guitar, and it's like,
I'll tell you, I
dude,
started my
600,000
career as a
Ukrainian men are getting
prosecutor. I
press
was a
ganged.
DA, I was an
Yeah,
attorney
like,
general, a United
couple
States
miles
senator,
away.
and now vice
That's
president.
pretty
You know, I
only have
wonder
one
if they're going to
client,
let him go
the
back
people.
and forth on their closing
And I'll tell you,
statements,
as a
or if they're just going to
prosecutor,
cut it
I
right after
never
DUP ends. I
asked
suspect
a
the former,
victim
but we'll see.
or a witness, are you a Republican or a Democrat? The only thing I ever asked them, are you okay? And that's the kind of president we need right now. Someone who cares
Are you
about
okay?
you and is not putting themselves first. I intend to be a president for all Americans.
Rat summer,
and
baby.
focus on what we can do over the next 10 and 20 years to build back up our country by investing right now in you, the American people.
Vice President Harris, thank you.
It's
President
a little
Trump.
bit over. I'm feeling it too.
So she just started by saying she's going to do
I
this,
like how
she's
she
going to
called
do
him
that, she's going
President
to do all
Trump.
these
I think that was
wonderful things.
unintentional,
Why
but
hasn't
I-
she
it
done
just
it?
goes to
She's
power
been
he
there for
has.
3.5 years.
Indeed,
They've
the
had
president,
3.5
45th
years
president of the
to
United
fix the
States.
border. They've
Unlike
had
the resident.
3.5 years
Okay.
to create
Well,
jobs
even the
and all
sassy
things
black
we talked
lady
about.
in the
Why
moderation
hasn't
team has
she
to
done
respect
it?
it, even
She
though
should
she hates
leave
him, she
right now,
respects
go
him.
down to that beautiful
It's
White
just
House,
the
go to the
aura he
Capitol,
has.
Some kind of issue
get
having
everyone
the
together
screen,
and
but
do
it
the
looks
things
like
you
it's
want to do, but
fine
you haven't
on
done
all
it,
my
and you won't
settings.
do
I'm
it
not sure if it's
because you
on.
believe in things that the
But-
American
it's
people
fine.
don't believe in.
I'm watching
you
it
believe
here.
in
It's fine.
things
It's
like
fine.
we're not
Are
going to
you watching my
we're not
stream?
going to
Does it
take
look fine?
fossil fuel. We're not going to do
Yeah, I'm watching your
things
stream.
that
It's
are
fine,
going
yeah.
to make this
Would
country
YouTube be
strong,
ridiculous
whether
shit?
you like it or not.
I-
Germany
'cause I have
tried
a-
that,
'cause I have the chat
and within
open.
1 year they were back to building.
I am not okay.
normal
I'm BC,
energy
Jenny.
plants.
I don't
We're
have
not ready
a
for it.
single
We
drop
can't
of the
sacrifice
spirits in
our
me.
country for
That's
the
probably a
sake
good
of
thing.
bad vision.
I
But I
would've
just
said
ask
some
one simple question:
quite more
why didn't she do it?
dastardly
We're a failing
statements.
nation. We're a
That happened
nation
under
that's
control.
in
Eight big
serious
guys gonna vote
decline.
for.
We're being laughed at all over the world. All over
What
the
was that,
world,
man?
they're laughing. I know the leaders very well. They're
Who do you
coming
think
to
the
see
8-bit
me.
guy is gonna
They
vote for?
call me. We're
He's
laughed
voting-
at
he's
all
voting
over
Kamala
the world.
for
They
sure.
don't
He's
understand
riding
what
with Kamala.
happened
It's like
to us
Chris
as a
Chan is.
nation. We're not a leader. We don't have any
Really? You
idea
think so?
what's going on.
Chris
We
Chan
have
has
wars
posted the
going on in
cartoon
the Middle East.
drawing
We
of
have
Kamala
wars
outside
going
his
Chris
on
Chan thinking I
with
get, but like
Russia
8-bit
and
guy, I don't
Ukraine.
know. Come
We're
on.
gonna
What's
end up
insane
in a
is that
third
Chris
world
Chan,
war,
like,
and
Chris
it'll be
Chan,
a
like,
war
altered
like no
reality.
other
Like,
because
does
of
Chris Chan
nuclear
see
weapons,
Kamala
the
as
power
being
of
white? Because,
weaponry.
like,
I
he
rebuilt our
definitely drew her
entire
as white. It
military.
is like
She gave a
Did
lot
they
of it
later
away
skin in that
to the
thumbnail?
Taliban.
I mean,
She
look at
gave
her.
it to
Look at her in this
Afghanistan.
fucking thing. She's
What
not
these
that
people have
that
done
dark.
to our
Like
country,
even for
and
like
maybe
a
toughest of all
Pujit,
is
she's like
allowing
very light
millions of
skinned.
She's
people
Liddy.
to come
She's
into our
Liddy white.
country. Many of them are
Jamaicanism made her
criminals,
less
and
black
they're
than she would have
destroying our
otherwise
country.
been.
The
Or her
worst
mom was like a
president, the
super white
worst
Pujit.
vice
That's possible.
president in
She's
the
like- I
history
say,
she is
of our
white-
country.
Being a politician.
President Trump,
Very
thank
windy.
you. And that is our ABC News presidential debate from
She's like
here
Big
in
Lenny.
Philadelphia at
You're
the
just cutting
National
it.
Constitution
I was letting
Center.
Dup
I'm
do his
Lindsay
final
Davis.
speech.
And I'm David Muir. Thank you for watching. here in the U.S. and all over the
That's
world,
weird.
and from all of us here at ABC News. Good night.
This bitch sucks.
Oh, they went 15 minutes overtime, but hey, like I said, it's kind of a wash. It doesn't really matter.
They only went 15 minutes over.
There were no like really big losses that I don't like. Trump was particularly weak when the whole race question of her came up. That was not a great thing. He kind of tried to salvage it, but the
all right,
salvaging
folks,
attempt was kind
we
of
have to
bad too.
ask right now. After all of that we just heard, did Dup get BTFO here? Was this the Dup BTFO moment? Was this the moment in time that Dup is finally buried underground, that Orange Cheeto Man is finally declared bad, and we take joy back to this country? I thought Kamala was answering the questions with grace and clear-headedness. She's clearly ahead of the curve, and she's ready to lead this country, boys. What do we say?
I'm seeing my projections about 450 million true-blooded, red-hot American votes, all the way down the pipeline. 550 million even. That's my projection.
Are you guys
Don't
ready
bet, man.
for Kamaldup?
That's
Halloween.
It's Kamaldup.
Do we have? Does it mean you have to dress as Kamala or like?
I'm gonna dress like the 8-bit guy and open carry an AR-15 and do a Halloween party.
And and do a Halloween party, quote unquote. Indeed, yes, we love our Halloween parties. Code word received. Soldiers activated. Almonds activated.
Well,
my FBI
the debate is over.
Well, we're just gonna mute these talking heads. This is all dumb. I don't care about their analysis. They're probably wrong. They're getting
over.
Well, Pleasure
Fucking
Blaster,
Joseph.
from the last closing statements, what do you think? Do you think Duck prevailed here, or what you feeling?
I don't know. It's really hard to say till we get the epic rap battles of history cover. You know, I
Maybe
really
we can do
can't
a
say
little.
until then.
Okay.
Your decision will be up in the air.
You know what we got to do right here, right now,
late voter.
live on the air. I think we need to do a little preview of the epic rap battle. I'm gonna get a beat going.
No.
And who wants to be? Who
I
wants to
don't
be?
think
I
so.
will be Kamala. Who wants to be Dup? Who wants to be Dup?
And Weasel will be Dup.
No, I won't. I'm way too fucking tired.
Okay,
But you
that's
do
what
it,
okay,
Riz.
you get to be Dup. Or
No,
do you
I'm
want
not.
to
I'm
be
not
Kamala?
gonna be. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Let's get someone else in here. Let's get someone from the audience. Okay.
Chris and Dan.
Begin.
I'm not selling this. I'm just not gonna sell it. It's kind of a bad idea. Like, it's not so good. And look at her. She wants it to be urban. It's not so good. Okay. I'm not selling it. Like,
This is actually the intro for Riz to turn to Dup.
no, I'm not.
Hello, I'm Kamala, and I think that Trump.
Still make
I'm your
videos.
mama. I feel like you ain't got nothing. I just know that my country be running. I bring joy, and when I go to the club, I be popping them bottles, and when coming on home, I be rocking them shuttles. Yeah.
Hey, could you stream this?
Fucking
Pat?
bad. That was extremely not good. Okay.
I just linked in chat. Could you stream that? I think
Yo,
it would
my
be
FBI
like
handler
a good
does not
example, a
communicate
good
that
guess. Good guess of how we could predict the Kamala Trump rap battle to go.
So honestly, how bad do you do? Do you think they're gonna steal it by like 120? Like, is it gonna be 120 million? Like when they do like do this? I'm sorry, they're very legitimate. I don't want to get the whole like truck. They're very legitimate. Right? Like,
You've already gone far enough that I don't think you'll likely to be struck for your that posting. But I mean, have you had any drink, whatever? So what? Riz? Are you just sober?
yes, I'm just so. I'm just.
Good on you, buddy. Even do the stream sober.
Size
Better,
of
you know,
dude.
stream that rap battle.
So I know how you must have felt when they killed
The rap. Look, I mean, I don't think that rap
He's
battle's
not.
gonna
He's just
happen. I think it was probably a bad idea.
Talking about the video I linked Epic Rap Battles History, Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. It's a good way to kind of guess how he's going to do against Kamala. Epic Rap Battle.
They have to get Mr. Beast back again. Fake Mr. Beast, aka Sam Hyde.
And get Chris Tyson back.
Kamala should have gone up there with Chris Tyson. On the verge of World War III, next to no
This is a fire rap. Biden had the Riz. I just don't think Kamala has it.
Well, being a woman is somewhat of a problem with that one. What? Joe over Joe ever. Indeed.
That's great. Well, it was entertaining. There were a couple great singers, but the real big moments were definitely the I'm speaking, and her, and then the other time, what was it? Be quiet, because she was trying to interrupt him, and both times she actually became quiet, and I'm not sure, like, surely they must have prepped her for this possibility and told her, no, you gotta fire back. Don't just lay down and take it like you're a weak little bitch. Like, what the fuck, man? And like, oof. And with all that sass of hers, you really think she would have a comeback to it, but she fucking didn't. I don't get it. Anyone's still there, by the way?
Yeah, I'm here.
I don't know. I mean,
ignoring you, Weasel. We hate your guts.
Is Gahul still alive, or are we offline?
No, we're fucking live, dumbass. We're still going. Okay, we're watching the fucking Bide-Up epic rap battle of history, and you're just here. I'm rambling about something. I'm Weasel. I'm a mama.
Why is everybody bullying Weasel? That's not nice.
Why am I dogging on Weasel?
I didn't dox myself.
You know, honestly, I could tell you why I'm dogging on Weasel, but frankly, we all know. What?
You're actually watching the video?
Yeah, I just finished.
But what'd you think? Pretty good, right?
I think Bide-Up won the rap battle, but you know, we'll see who wins this year's epic rap battle history.
Yeah. That's such good content, man. I'm glad they're still making videos. I'm glad they're getting millions of views. They deserve it.
They really do deserve it. They're always so good, and they're so funny every single time. It's so funny. It's so fucking funny.
Look at the recent one. It's Godzilla versus a bad CGI King Kong.
This is amazing. Wow, it's just so good. It's just really great. It's really great, guys.
Amazing.
Isn't it as good as Dup versus Held Up? Well, I will say
how much money they make.
Making millions of dollars for making millions of dollars worth of content. That's all I'm going to say. All I will say is this. I believe I tried to do an epic rap battle, but none of you wanted to do a rap battle as Dup. I gave you the option. I was doing Kamala. I let you guys step up, and none of you stepped up. And in fact, because of that risk, I'm gonna have to chop your toes off. 2 toes. What? I will take 2 toes of you. You can choose which ones.
What, 2 toes for 2 scoops? Like,
yes,
what is this?
2 toes for 2 scoops. It's a little punishment. It's what they call. They do in the Yakuza. And we're gonna do it here. We're gonna do it right here. So the next time I see you, you can choose which ones they are. You can choose. You want the little toe, the big toe.
Okay, whatever. She's out of control. She's talking like my friend Patrick Nelson.
Do you want?
What the hell has gotten into Kamaldup?
Frankly, I can take whatever toe you'd like off, but it's gonna come off. I'm gonna chop it off with a scissors, and you're not gonna have it anymore. I'll give you in a baggie, and you put it on nice, but you can't put it back on. That's all I'm gonna say. So,
I guess that's fair. I mean, what else am I gonna?
There are 2 Florida Public Library systems with Sequestro DVD.
No.
Well, I'll go to my local library and I'll see if they can find it for me, okay? But if they have it, if you're right, Eric, I'm going over and I'm going to get that DVD and we're going to watch it. The problem is there's another movie also called Sequestro that was released around the same time, around the same year even. I think maybe a year or 2 off.
What the hell?
Which is way more popular and way more easily accessible. And it wasn't directed by Coach Red Pope. So that is why it's very difficult to make sure it's the exact correct film.
Godspeed, greatest ally Israel.
It was not called Sequestro. It was called Sequestro Express. Go do simping. It's greatest ally Israel. Good luck. I wish you good luck. But yeah, man. How's hold up. Oh, but you gotta.
Sorry, I'm just really enthralled with this Godzilla versus King Kong rap battle.
I got sent to MP3 player. I got sent an MP3
on the right stuff.
On Discord. I'm gonna play it.
What's that? Hey, Pat, what's your way of voting again? You told me once. I thought it was pretty good. Like, assuming like you don't research anything. Like, if you didn't research anything beforehand, your advice was vote Republican, vote for the guy, and vote for the guy with the least Jewish or black sounding name, right?
Wait, who's this? Me?
Oh, Pat.
Oh.
My advice is always Vote.
Does Harris sound very black to you? I mean,
if you're
not
between
in a
Republican,
lap
Democrat, or
race,
vote
it's a personal.
Republican. If it's between a man and a woman, vote the guy. And if it's between a guy and a guy, vote for the whitest sounding guy. That's how you do it. That's when, if I don't understand what's going on, I do that, and it always leads me right. You guys have to hear this. It's amazing.
Which one?
No, I just got sent a song, so I made a Dup BTFO song. I have to send it to you right now.
Oh.
I'll post it in the chat here. Upload the file. This is.
We got to get Tucker on it. Al Neri, Tucker on the Coach Red Pill biopic. You said the Dup BTFO song to Tucker, yeah.
Send this to him. Here's the MP3 of it in the chat.
You know, he's doing that whole tour, and he should have had the veterans of Gamergate on, because he has like all these special guests. He's like Glenn Beck, who gives a shit?
Well, I hate to say it, he's coming to a couple places in Florida, and he has been announcing surprise guests. I don't want to say who it's gonna be, but I maybe know some people who are gonna be there, and I just, I don't want to surprise anyone.
What the hell?
Just don't want to surprise anyone. Maybe you want to tune in. That's all I'm gonna say. No, I'm lying. I don't know what the fuck's. I'm not going.
That would be crazy if he did bring you on stage, though.
He should bring me on. He should bring me on as the leader of the
Sam Hyde was talking supposedly that he got interviewed by Tucker. I don't know if he was like fucking around or whatever, but
it was probably
Sam Hyde could have informed Hey TV Chan, play that Kino, boom. Okay, and now Tucker.
Someone's gonna make the Coach Red Pill biopic. I think we need the DVD re-release of Sequestrio, complete with interviews from all of Coach Red Pill's various associates. We can get an interview from Warski. We can get an interview from Ralph. Everyone who was at what was it? What was that?
Knoxville.
Everyone who was at Knoxville. We need to get an interview. We interview from Destiny. Tucker Carlson is free in election night. It's true. I've heard that he is free in election night.
We can't forget Coach Red Pill's son.
versus Cowboy Cammy again.
What?
Yeah. The wonderful Cowboy Cammy.
You were there for that, weren't you?
I was there with Cowboy Cammy versus Destiny. Yep, I was the host. I was the moderator for the debate, actually.
That was an amazing mess.
Yeah,
very bad.
Did not go very well, no. But it was fun.
Yeah, he's like really sleep deprived, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Well, he showed up like 3 hours late because time zone. And like I'm thorough. I give him like the three possible American time zones he might be in. Like he can't figure out any of them. And he's just like,
yeah.
That guy's like a pedophile, isn't he?
Catboy Cammy? I have no idea.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Like it's pretty damn likely. Like it's pretty damn likely that he's.
It's kind of hard to figure out with those people what part of it all is ironic and shit. But yeah, no.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Cammy like
me
is
to
for
get
real.
in touch with Mormon Shaggy. I can't confirm or deny this. I cannot confirm or deny this.
Shaggy, yeah.
Oh wait, hold up a minute. No. That has to happen. Imagine Tucker interviewing Mormon fucking Shaggy. That would be amazing. That would be fucking very nice. Like, but imagine the reason why Tucker wants to interview Mormon Shaggy. Like, imagine Mormon Shaggy going off about Kolob, and it cuts back to like Tucker doing like the shocked face, like like the kind of like when somebody tells him something that's like the first time he hears it, that like whoa face that he does is Mormon Shaggy talking about like Mormon long johns and shit, right?
And describing how he hired a prostitute from the Asian fucking hooker place. Describing in detail how specifically. They don't just get him out. The ladies, they take you into a room and you just wait, and if someone comes out to get you, then you're allowed to. But if you're too ugly or something, you're not gonna get laid.
Shaggy, what you're telling me is that there are levels to Kolob? And Shaggy just keeps going into it. That would be so fucking funny, dude. God damn, that would be great. Holy shit. That would be awesome. Shaggy would rule NRX.
Oh, I got a phone call. Yeah.
Shaggy's. No, yeah, take it. Shaggy's the final boss of NRX. Hell yeah. It goes Jim's blog and then fucking Shaggy.
Hello, you're on the air, SMG.
What's up, Cahool, man?
Oh no.
It's going pretty good, man. I'm just hanging out here. We're enjoying the Kamaldup stream. We're watching get BTFO'd.
Hell yeah, Kamala all day, baby. That's great force to survive.
Shit, from what I remember.
Are we saying that we're riding with Mommy Kamali? Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Wow.
We're on the tamale.
He does retweet a lot of.
Are you saying you're a big fan of the Kamaldup? The Kamaldup is all day.
Hell yeah, I love the Kamaldup. I love the coconut.
That's what I'm talking about. The coconut tree, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Talked to you guys since the UFC stream.
Fuck yeah.
What do you think?
No more orange faggot. No more faggot cards. Let's do this. BTFO that fucking vagina neck having faggot because it will make that homosexual fanny lover Brian Dunn cry.
But
it will. We want Brian Dunn to cry. We want Brian Dunn to weep, and we want his children to know he's crying because something happened on the internet. That's what we want, right? We want him to. We want him to suffer. Frankly, we just want him to suffer.
Well, I mean, his family's already suffering. They have to live with Brian Dunn. And, you know, if you had to have Brian Dunn as your father, wouldn't you just, like, what's the phrase I have to say so you don't get your channel deleted? Wouldn't you want to delete your save files, if you know what I'm saying?
I think that if you were Brian Dunn's child, that's like Brian Dunn being your father is like a form of child abuse. Really, I think like his existence is like a form, like his being in his presence is a form of abuse. And like I don't think he was abused child. I think he was an accomplice to child abuse. I think he helped no, I'm saying that Brian Dunn being someone's father is essentially child abuse because he's such a miserable shit to be around that it becomes an abusive relationship. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, but he's just repeating his own trauma from being with his pedophile.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree with you. I think Brian Dunn
they repeat their own traumas in their,
near existence.
You know, slightly weakened form. And
well,
like, you know he's the reason Toys R Us shut down, right? Because he just kept creeping around in there like some sort of weird kid.
Alex Pereira against Khalil Roundtree is on the 6th of October.
So,
guys, who really rizzed up Livy Dunn?
But all I'm going to say is that Brian Dunn, he's going to get what's coming to him one day. One day, God will punish him for his sins. And I don't know what day that will be, but I will be there for that day. And maybe if Brian Dunn wants to apologize to me and release a new Donkey Kong game, maybe we can have some form of forgiveness, some sort of atonement. Maybe he can apologize to me. We can have some kind of atonement. Maybe we can have you and Brian Dunn on the stream together, and he apologized to both of us directly. That might be a great idea, but... Until then, we'll see.
Well, when I go to Brian Dunn's home in Lansing, Michigan,
Brian Dunn has already been punished by life. You realize the man is severely mentally unwell, right? Like, he's not...
You're informing us for the first time.
And I'm just going to yell at him in Spanish.
The man's like an emotional roller coaster, even without him attention whoring on the internet. Like,
and we're going to see what happens in Lansing, Michigan.
Oh man, once he's in the Costco family fold, you know, once Big Justice rizzes up his daughter and he's in the Costco family fold, he will be blessed.
I hope you do that. I think we need to. I'm not saying. I can't condone your actions at SMG. I'm not going to approve or deny your actions, but I will say, if there's anyone who's going to do something like that, it's going to be you, and I believe that you will do this. I wish you all the luck in your life, man. You're going to do this, and
I don't need luck. I have cartel skills.
That's true. You do. We do love that. We do love the SMG. He's the best.
Oh my God, Gahul, I need your opinion on something.
Yeah.
Okay. PS5 Pro, yay or nay?
That's a nay. It's a nay. It's a waste of money. It's a waste of money, man. It's just you're spending what? You're spending like $800 if you get a disc drive too. You know, like it's a lot of money.
Yeah, but if you pay $30, you get a stand.
The only thing I will say is this will not stand. I mean, we're doing political. This PS5 Pro, they didn't bring it up in the debate, and that will not stand. We need Dup and Kamal's reaction to the PS5 Pro and what they think about it, and the Jewing. And
you know what? The PS5 has bought both candidates, so they'll both be sitting there saying that Sony is their greatest ally, and that we should send them all our tax dollars to fund the next Concord game.
You know what?
Concord will be back, bigger and gayer.
Concord 2 is what we need. We need Concord Deuce, and that's what we want. That's what we want, folks.
Oh, and then the front cover will be all of them standing in front of the Twin Towers while a plane is about to crash into it.
Yes, that's what we need. And we need the Twin Towers will actually just be two PS5s, one a regular and one a PS5 Pro. It'll be like right next to each other, and that'll be what the cover is.
And we'll get real meta. One of the characters will be Israeli, and if you zoom in on one of the buildings, you can see it dancing.
Oh yeah, you could do that. That'd be funny. Fuck. You know the worst thing that Dup said during the debate tonight, and it's one thing that I believe kneecapped him. He said, "If Kamala is president, Israel will not exist as a country within 2 years." He said that, and it's like, man.
Oh, man, you're making me vote for Kamala over here. Like, what are you doing?
Wait a minute. I mean, no, that's.
So you're saying if I vote for the Kamala Mama, no more Jews. All right, that's it. We're all in, baby. We're in. We're all on the train, baby, the Kamal train. I want everybody within the sound of my voice, go out there, get people to vote for Kamala. Go to your old folks' home, harvest ballots, fill them in for Kamala. We gotta do this. It's the only way to stop Israel, boys.
It's the only way to stop Israel. You're right. All right. Well,
the only way.
I gotta get back to my other Discord callers, but I will talk to you soon. And I appreciate you, man. And
okay.
Godspeed, brother.
Let me get a Bailey's #1. Come on.
Bailey, #1. Bailey's #1 women's wrestler. #1 wrestler in the world. Best alive. Best to ever do it. Bret Hart can suck cock.
Better than Ric Flair. Better than Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan. It's Bailey Mania, baby.
It's Bailey all day, every day. We love Bailey. She's the queen. The queen of the wrestling.
Bailey. All right. The queen of wrestling. All right. Later.
Yeah.
A bunch of calls here.
Yeah, sorry. It was a bit too much.
Oh, it's Channel 5. Welcome.
We got the gang
Channel
all here.
5.
We got the gang all here.
How's everyone doing?
We're doing good. We just watched.
Just basking in the glow of Dup's glorious singers. He had a couple good singers, and that's probably the most important part of it. What do you really remember immediately if you think about that debate in terms of performance? It's Dup going, "Be quiet, wench," and her looking down and staying shut because she knows she's been put in her fucking place. No less than 2 times.
Oh yeah, remember that?
He
snapped her down. That was incredible.
He snapped everybody down. He was just like... I know Riss likes to call him the lion, but he was very much sort of channeling, the
lion.
energy. And everybody in that room felt it, and nobody could stand up against him.
He was really charging in at like every possible angle.
Surfers in general.
We gotta bring Surfer in. Bring the Surfer in. Oh.
Look, they're gonna definitely try to hit him with calling him he's Hitler. He's shouting like a crazy Hitler man.
We got the Surfer on the stream. We have Channel 5. We got Surfer. We got the whole gang here.
Look, and that's gonna be the thing. You're probably gonna get Democrats hats where Trump is really shouting that they mute him and put red filter on it and some ominous music, maybe a Hitler speech on the background. That's basically what they're gonna do with it. But they would have done that anyway, right? Ultimately, there's nothing really won or lost here. Besides that, I do think that a lot of people are gonna kind of pick up on how dominant he was.
Yeah, I think they're gonna try to spin that more as him trying to be unhinged or
holy juice, buddy. Juice.
He had a lot of energy in it.
Yeah, no, he did. He did great in that, and I do think a lot of people are going to sort of feel that on a gut level, and it especially would work well in kind of stupid people, which, from what I understand, is a lot of people that vote. So no, honestly, that could
Weasel.
be
Thanks for the vote of confidence, you fuck. Fuck.
No, I think that was the tail of the tape.
Look, Rick, just because you're dyslexic doesn't mean you're stupid, okay?
It's intentional. It's intentional. It's a new way of spelling. I call it the weave. Also, Surf, I have never played that game. Homo Evolution.
What, Homo Evolution?
Homo Evolution. Yeah, that's a... Someone is imitating me. I am... My character is being assassinated.
I thought after we were playing the attack hole that you'd be getting into the Homo Evolution.
What? This is...
Is this some RPG Maker shit from some really creepy subculture?
I don't know what this is. I don't know.
You don't remember playing attack hole, Rist?
I don't remember playing that. I honestly.
You're in the fucking hole and you collect the bullets and then fight the monster.
Oh wait, no. Okay, no, I remember you showing me. Oh my god, dude. What the hell?
I thought that after you're playing that, you'd be playing Homo Evolution.
No, I don't think I matriculated to Homo Evolution. I think I passed up on that one. You know what I'm saying? But
wait, is it does the homo stand for gay or for human? As
it's
in some
human.
Kind of homo
It's human.
thing?
Yes, but however,
Okay.
it's
He
in Cababla's America.
He evolved the gays by fucking mixing them together.
Interesting. What an interesting. That's funny. Oh,
As the resident Canadian, what was your take on the debate? You did watch it, right?
Yeah, no, I did watch it. I think that was the tail of the tape that you guys were saying. It really was a body language thing.
Yeah.
I watched the commentary afterwards, and they were trying to spin it that Trump was angry and he was flustered and he was yelling, you know. But
he
that
kind
really
of was
wasn't
yelling.
it.
You had to deal with a woman like that. What the hell, right?
He was very stern and he was very strong when he was talking about policy, but that's what the people want. There wasn't anger. Whereas when Trump would make attacks on Kamala, it looked like she was about to cry in her face. And then she'd come back and she actually would be flustered. If you watch her body language, it's almost like she's panicking. And like I wish I could
hear it in her voice.
I wish I could pull some of the things Trump said, but you could see as Trump was speaking, it almost looked like she had tears in her eyes. And like she looked sad. She looked defeated. She like looked up like she was praying to whichever reptile god she prays to at one point. For help. Whereas when she was speaking, Trump just looked like, what the fuck? What is this retard?
What the hell is this? God, I thought it was bad before. Wowzers. Not so good.
It was the same mannerisms he had in 2016. The energy he had tonight, he didn't have in the debates in 2020. He didn't have that energy for a long time. He sort of had it in the Biden debate, but it's fucking back tonight. He did very well, I thought.
Yeah, and I said that earlier too, that basically we haven't seen this Trump since, I think, the first Hillary debate, because the one after that, they told him to be really presidential, so he really kept himself contained, and only now are we seeing the violent Trump really.
I think it helps that he kind of got this like full court press sort of like affection thing too with like RFK. Like I could imagine having like another pillar, right? You can kind of like double down. Like he's probably more emboldened to double down on like the things that got him in there, right? He understands the coalition that's behind him.
RFK as his vice president instead of JD Vance, that would have been so fucking great. But I mean, Vance is a lot more eloquent than Tim Walz, so I suspect that debate might be interesting. I mean, I suspect there will be sparks flying, just a lot less people giving a shit because, you know, they're the vice presidents. They're basically.
Well, Vance will probably watch the floor with Walz, but like it's going to be like.
I don't think
Vance is not going to bring up his friend Costin. Okay.
Really doesn't matter that much in the grand scheme of things. It'll be entertaining to watch, but it won't affect the election. I feel like at all. This one will. And to your point, Surfer, you're right. She did get flustered, but it's not even that she was flustered. She just had complete inability to respond to him at all. Like she had her prepared points, and she had prepared talking points and speeches and stuff that she wanted to go off on. But I mean, there was a couple times where she responded saying she's not going to ban fracking. But for the most part, Trump would make aggressive points against her, and then instead of when she had her response time to those points, she didn't use them to address what he was saying that's not true, here's what I think. She would just use it to kind of like weasel around and like say her speech. She would use it as a way to segue into another speech that she had prepared ahead of time. She had no ability to draft or come up with stuff on the spot, and that hindered her greatly. There were moments where she could have really hurt Trump, where she could have really bounced back at him. I could have, if I was in her position, if it was me seeing her and I have her policies, I'm an insane lizard person like she is, who believes the things she does, I could have imagined points like during the abortion stuff, during some of the economic stuff, military stuff, the war stuff. There's places where she could have attacked him and been aggressive and attacking on him, and she chose instead to just kind of fall back on her defensive. She was she let him wash over him. Like Dup was a tidal wave, and she was the surfer she was the beach goer, and she just let it happen.
On abortion, she went really hard, but that's the only thing she went really hard on. Like with the economy, she was just a pushover on most of every subject.
Well, she went hard on her initial statement, but when Trump made statements back saying, like, I want to bring it back to the States, he would, like, leave it back. And instead of going back and then attacking him more directly to what he said, she just reiterated stuff she'd already said and went back to her speech. She didn't aggressively respond to what he had said, even though he left openings for her to attack her. She didn't go for it.
I think it was like, when the abortion subject came up, they went, like, back and forth, like, 6 times or something ridiculous, right? It was like a 20-minute slot or something. And at some point, I think during the middle of that, she became really animated and really started shouting at him. And really, they're probably going to clip that to be like, "Oh, she's schooling him, baby." And I mean, I don't know if that was completely scripted or not. That's also a thing. Like, you don't know how. Yeah. I mean, did they share with her before that you're going to have like 20 minutes, so you better prepare like a shitload of abortion points?
Maybe
it could be. Or she naturally
abortion is just foundationally an easy thing to get Democratic voters on, right? It's like, it's loyal progressive party adherence. It's like it's one of the pillars, like on a practical level, like in a really fucked up way.
My thing is that, like, when Dub would say to her, she has no path to getting an abortion thing, a federal abortion like allowance law, essentially to restore Roe v. Wade in the courts, because he said something about how she would do it the same thing with student loans, and that was a good way because I don't think they would have brought that up any other way. With, like, she said, "Hey, we're gonna pay back the Biden administration." They try to, like, maneuver around Congress with the student loan shit. They would try to do it that way, but it wouldn't stand or wouldn't work. Right, but instead of responding back, no, if I win, we'll also win the Senate and the House. We'll also, and then we will. If I'm going to win the presidency, we'll make sure we have the Senate and the House, and we'll work together to establish this, right? Instead of saying that, she just let it happen, and so that just let the stain on the record of the student loan thing stood there. Instead of addressing the student loan thing and saying, "Oh, that's your fault for the judges you appointed," she just let that happen. And now she looks bad for this, not only for not having an abortion thing now when she's in office, but also for the student loan thing. So he got her in double play there, and she did nothing to respond to it, and that was really bad, right? It was a bad fucking moment.
And like when he said to her that she went to go negotiate with
Putin.
Zelensky and Putin, and then 3 days later Putin invaded.
And she was like, "No, that didn't happen." Well, then why did you go?
3 days later, the war started.
Yeah, and then she said, "Oh, I met with Zelensky 5 times. But I didn't negotiate a peace." What the fuck were you doing there, meeting with him?
Why have you only met with the fucking leader of a foreign government that we are actively, like, funding to fight a war with only 5 times as vice president? I feel like that's insane. Zelensky's been to the U.S. like 20 or 30 times since the war started, I feel like, right? We see about it all in the news. Why have you personally met with him 5 times? You should be meeting with him all the time, right? To deal with this thing. We're like actively sending billions of dollars to this country, and you met him 5 times? 5? It's not enough. Like, that's not enough times. I'm sorry, it's stupid.
Well, she's kind of fucked if she says more, Like, well, actually, I don't know. I don't think Democrats.
She probably only has been with him 5 times. Probably just sitting on her ass drinking all day and doing nothing. She's vice president. She doesn't do shit.
Well, there's almost like a worse thing. Like, it's almost worse if she has met with him. Like, it's kind of a no-win situation, right? Because, like, this war is like a demonic proxy conflict that America is using to effectively try to nuclear tripwire, like, Russia, you know what I mean? Like, it's just completely like the NATO. I think there's no global justification.
Trump is saying he'll end the war. She's saying she's going to win the war, but has no idea how she will do it. And Trump
by giving them more money, of course. We need to give them all the money, and then they'll win. Of course, that's how that works.
To see Trump
and start press ganging the 15-year-olds.
That's true.
Surfer, the 15-year-olds and the 70-year-olds, we got to press gang them in. But anyway,
since we have Surfer here, I do have to ask: have you seen? Are you excited for the new remake of Croc and the Legend of the Gobos? Are you excited for that?
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, no, they're doing a remake of Croc and the Legend of the Gobos. They're doing it.
When's that coming out?
Let me see. I just saw the trailer for it the other day.
This is.
Here,
Brian's lies strike again.
No.
Yeah, I'll pull this up. The Croc and the Legend of the Gobbo's official teaser trailer.
Channel 5, did you...
Early production or what? Or maybe it's like a small studio, kind of low key.
They're going to be consulted by black girl gamers, okay? Croc will be a rog.
Croc has gone woke.
Croc will be a rog.
No.
The loony left has lost the plot.
I'm just watching the trailer and I'm seeing that the release date's supposed to be.
Channel 5, what did you think about did you watch the debate or?
I saw about half of it. I watched it with my parents, who are very liberal, so I had that commentary going on.
It's like
their ass.
It's like your family members that were like, "Oh, my condolences, dude."
Yeah, no.
Wait, what were they saying? What did they think? Actually, that's an interesting perspective. Like, what did they think about Kamaldup?
They didn't mind Trump getting so much airtime, especially my mom. She saw it more of an opportunity for Trump to really be unhinged, and there were, in my opinion, there were a couple times that he did seem like he referenced like, oh well, I know these people and they're very good people, and he's rambling on about people, and it's just like, listen, if you're not giving me
Orban speech.
yeah, if you're not going to be giving me like straight specifics, then there's no point in telling me this. And I don't know. Some of me thinks he's still a little rattled up from what happened last time, but at the same time, it didn't seem. I didn't feel secure in his aggression. I saw it, and okay, that's great, but there were times where he was kind of like firing off unneededly. And
but like that specifically is the president's job, right? To know those people and to be able to assert himself and negotiate with these people.
Patriarchal aggression.
That is the flaw of Kamala. She's unable to do that. And to Sheen's point, we just saw throughout that whole debate, she was unable to do that. She had no response. And not only did she have no response, but you could see in her eyes that she knew she had no response.
Yeah.
And she was worried about it, and it hurt her confidence.
I think
there was have that in the president of the United States. That person,
I saw something that
cannot
I don't know.
negotiate with Vladimir Putin. Cannot negotiate with Kim Jong-un, right?
That was my parents kind of applauded her for being, what was it, sensible, cool-headed is the words they were throwing around. No, she wanted to keep to a very specific script. She didn't have any answers outside. It was like immigration, I think, was one. And then they go to her vice president after the debate, and he got scared too. He came in all smiles.
Big baby.
And then fucking when they asked him that question, I don't know.
He pooped the diaper. He's like, mind my own damn business.
They are stuck because
business.
a significant portion of the country has now come around on immigration and realizes how bad it has been and like how out of control it is, especially in the swing states where like these. I mean, frankly, it's bad. It was bad in a lot of states for a while, but like it's becoming a real big issue in a lot of big swing states right now. And the swing states also, but the problem is if they go too hard on rhetoric, then they'll alienate their base, right? But if they don't respond, if they don't respond to it at all, then they're like alienating their potential swing voters. The real issue is that she's in office right now. She could go and do something about it right now, right? And it's been the policies. The problem is that the issue has been the policies and how they've affected the country while she has been part of the administration, and that's across the whole. Everything was the whole problem with this debate and her running as a candidate is that so much of this.
Well, she's also de facto the president because Sleepy Joe is like not at the fucking wheel.
She
right,
is
like that's the other part. It would be different if
She's part of the
was.
There's
no
no
but
reason.
It would be different if Corn Pop was like relatively sane and stable, and like he could do the listen Jack thing, and it's like, okay, maybe as vice president,
I don't think Kamala's in charge
Corn
either.
Pop is out the pasture.
We don't think.
No,
I don't think Kamala's in charge either. The problem is that, like,
but like the hypothetical, you could keep up the hypothetical like illusion of like democracy, right, or whatever. If Corn Pop was, and she could make the excuse maybe that like I can't do anything now because there's a contention here, in the same way that maybe Mike Pence had a contention with Trump, right, for instance, right. And I'm the vice president, but Sleepy Joe is like out in the pasture. You know what I mean? So there's nothing hypothetically standing in her way.
There's no
like, there's absolutely
hypothetical
nothing.
defense for her saying, "Oh, I'm going to do these things. There's other things I'm going to do to improve America," while being part of an administration that I think we can all. I think almost everyone who's in this country can agree that this country, in a lot of ways, economically, is in a bad position and is not being led in the right direction. Right? I think almost everyone can agree with that. We're not heading.
I mean, they're robber. This is wealth transfer robber baroning shit, and it's like escalating exponentially.
Guys,
like it's
I'm gonna go. You guys have a good night.
Good night.
Bless
you, everyone.
God bless.
Have a good night, man.
See ya.
Bless you too, man.
Enjoy.
See ya.
Sleep well.
See you around. I honestly, I think I'm just really shocked at. I mean, the more I think about it, the more I think about what she said and what she did. It just is like the pitfalls are gonna come back to bite her. I think like in the moment it wasn't so bad, but the more like you dwell on it, you think, oh yeah, that really wasn't very good. She did an okay job like holding herself, but she did a lot of fuck ups the whole time. It just wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
It was a bad showing. I thought it was not what she needed. She needed to totally destroy Trump. And I don't think she got fully destroyed herself, but she needed something to reverse the course. I don't think this is going to reverse the course for her. It's going to continue the way it's been going. It has not altered.
It's so true. She'll only win by 280 million votes. You're right, Gahul. I've been convinced.
That's true.
280 million
is just powerless to really go up against Trump. You know, that it's why she has to do all the like avoiding eye contact shit. She's intimidated by him, and it's really hard for her not to show that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it was an embarrassing display. I mean, it was not. I don't know. The more I think about it, it just went really badly for her, right? Like,
the question is it gonna matter? Like, is it actually gonna matter? Like, that's sort of the.
Maybe it will. We'll find out.
We will.
I remember Corn. Remember Corn Pop? Remember Corn Pop with the empty 81 million? Where did that come from?
Well, that's another thing. Speaking
I don't
of Corn
know.
Pop, that was one thing
Didn't
she did.
he do 9/11?
He did say he did. No, he's doing it tomorrow. He's actually doing it tomorrow.
I gotta do 9/11 tomorrow, Jack.
The first time ever we're doing 9/11 tomorrow.
That's that's awesome.
That's one thing also that she didn't have a response for was, the threat to democracy, and then, no one voted to make you the nominee for the Democrats, right? Like, that's it's a solid point you brought up, and there is no response from Ryan because there is no response, right? It is just an embarrassment, right? It's just a fucking travesty.
I mean, I don't. Is it? I mean, like, dude, but like the party of democracy is like never. Like, I don't. Does anyone believe that? I don't know. Does anyone believe in this farce anymore? Like that's sort of just, I guess, my question.
Yeah,
like it's who's voting for anything, right? Like, it's whoever counts any vote. You know, like, is your vote getting counted? I don't think they've ever counted a vote in a day ever anywhere. Like, it just does not happen. Like, I'm totally serious.
I count your vote when you vote in the TV channel elections every year, so I count votes. That's what
you do.
Maybe
that's
I shouldn't.
True.
Maybe I shouldn't.
Oh, but look, okay, wait, hold up. But our goddamn elections got stolen, Gahul. What the hell are you, brother? Like, there was literally a ballot dump in 2020. Come on, Fat.
What? No, the TV channel awards have a secure and genuine election system that has never been compromised ever.
Oh, you're so right. You're so right. No, who am I to call into question?
It's so true that we didn't even have an election for the Queen this year. We even canceled the Queen elections this year because
Brat Summer. It was Brat Summer, truly. Eric W. says, someone tell the ogre to call the damn phone number for the production company that made Coach's film. We need a spirit alive for Blump's return. Coach is with all of us, okay?
I imagine they're probably closed right now. I will look, Eric. I saw what you sent. I've been looking. I just didn't respond because people were talking. I appreciate what you're.
Fingold.
I appreciate what you're sending to me, and I will look into it. The Pantera films. I think I followed up with their website before. I will look into it more. And try and contact them. My actual next plan is to email Gonzalo's father because I know he was on Tucker recently. I'm gonna try and find his email and email him and ask him and say, hey, I knew Gonzo personally. I was hoping we could, work something out where I could buy a copy of this film from you.
All right, we're one step closer to Mormon Shaggy on Tucker.
All I'm saying is genuinely, like, I think that might be the best option is to contact someone I know. I think Gonzo's father might be the best solution for this, and I feel like
to get Mormon Shaggy on Tucker Carlson. Absolutely, I agree, 110%.
Surfer, would you support Mormon Shaggy going to Tucker Carlson?
I don't know if that's the guy you should be asking.
Would you support that, Surfer?
It exists in the Chilean National Archives.
In the
Surfer, you're a little quiet.
Archives?
Yeah, I was explaining Sequestrio to Robbie.
Okay.
Oh, Robbie's there.
So little background.
Yeah, here's Robbie.
Robbie,
choose, buddy.
So, Surfer, unfortunately,
that's
I got
Robbie, notorious owner of Cow.
While there may be a copy in the Chilean National Archives, I have actually paid someone on Fiverr, a Chilean national who lives in the city where the Chilean National Archives is to go to the National Archives and look for it there, and they weren't able to get it. So it may be extremely difficult to even go that route to get it. I'm serious. I've done a lot of shit to try and get this.
They're wiping out Gonzalo's message.
It could have been a language barrier thing between me and the guy, and it could have been like maybe he tried calling them and they couldn't find it or something, and maybe if I went there in person it might go better.
Or you just got fucking scammed. You just
he didn't end up charging me for anything because he couldn't get it. He was like, I'm gonna charge you, so it's fine.
Because that would just be crazy. It's just like, hello, sir. Yes, I take your money, and then he just like fucks off. He doesn't get.
He didn't do that.
Okay, that's
good. But he tried to, and he just could. He tried calling the library where it's supposed to be, and it's not there.
That's crazy that they purged the record. What the hell?
I think the only way to get it might be going to Gonzo's dad. I think that might be the only way.
Hey, if he's willing to do interviews, I mean.
I don't know if he's willing to do an interview with Tucker.
Back in the game.
He might be willing to. For me, I would just like, hey, I really want to watch this. Watch this movie of your sons, and I don't know any other way to get it, and I'll pay you for it, whatever you ask, and we'll go from there. And maybe I said I think I want to kind of get someone to translate it into English for me. I want to like have it like translated to English subtitles so it can be. And like spread the English subtitles around so it can be, seen by more people. Like your son's, one of your son's artistic works, I want to make sure it's seen by more people. I think he might be receptive to that.
That's pretty nice. Yeah, that would be very nice.
But I have to do that. I just haven't done that. But that's my plan right now because I don't think the National Library is going to work.
And then we ship Mormon Shaggy in a container to Tucker's.
We'll drive him to Maine. We'll put him in the. We'll drive his sailboat up to Maine. And we'll get it.
Across the land, hell yeah. we'll put wheels on Shaggy's boat. That's awesome.
Surfer, what did Robbie think about the debate? Who did he think won? Is he voting? Is he Team Kamal or Team Dub?
Team Brad.
Who's voting?
He's RFK all the way, baby.
Baby, let's get it on.
About the abortion issue, because this is a good point. Actually.
Yeah, she kept trying to blame Trump for banning abortion. He made it very clear that he wanted it to be voted on by the individual states. And then she said she wanted to overrule that as president in support of democracy.
Based. Yeah. Democracy is when Democrats do whatever the hell they want to you, and you just deal with it. But that's
actually... might have miscalculated that a little bit, yeah.
No, that's true.
That's Trump for you.
Trump handled that, I thought, pretty well. He said this is a states' rights issue, and she was saying that he's like veto if he would like instate a federal abortion ban or whatever. He tried to make him veto. He said, he's not going to direct his party to draft a federal abortion ban. Essentially, is what he's saying, right? He wants to keep it in the states, which is honestly like it's the best. Honestly, I'm someone who probably would like, at minimum, a federal like late-term abortion ban. Personally, as someone who's fairly pro-life, right? Because I think it's murder after a certain point. But like the compromise being, well, we have to leave it up to the states. That's the only way I think that conservatives can get that abortion stopped and reduce the amount of child murder in the country legitimately without like destroying themselves in the next election, like, and fucking themselves over and having to
unfortunately there's 50% of the group of people who have suffrage, and that's a little bit of a problem, okay? And they kind of love killing babies.
They love killing babies. You have to find the best path to victory, because you can't just win all
that's
that
true.
one. You have to win.
Well, and then you see all the Right, and all the like all these crazy like Twitter grifter freaks who like say they're fucking Christian who come out and like, well, since Duppykins isn't doing the Scarlet Letter because politically speaking it would be fucking insane, right, for him to do that shit, right? Like, well, I guess we have to support Brat, and it's like some completely fucking retarded nonsense, right? Like cut your nose off to spite your face shit from these conning grifter freaks. Not so good, okay?
All right, gentlemen, I'm calling it.
You're outie?
Yeah.
Godspeed. Good to see you, Channel 5.
Hate to show up so late and bail so soon.
That's okay.
Nah,
I will be
all
doing
good, brother.
more streams, Channel 5. I'll be doing more streams hopefully soon. Will we see you on election night?
Of course.
That's
Yeah, I'll
what
be
I'm all
there.
about. Let's do it.
I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try to bring some. I have some people that are friends that I'm going to try to bring on for.
Why?
Risk, you don't have fucking friends, you liar.
Wow, this is what the. So from the
nah, man, I'm joking.
Tits to toes.
I'm looking forward to it.
First homo evolution.
You know, actually,
and now we'll just this truth nuke of me being friendless. Like
the homos are evolving.
TVC undergrad.
No, I believe you. I believe you. And as but Juice Channel 5, Godspeed, brother. Good to hear from you, mine.
Y'all have a good night.
Peace out, man.
Take it easy.
God bless. Then there were 4.
Yeah, but we should probably wrap this.
Well, we need. Is Leo confirmed? Have we managed to reach out to Leo?
I think I talked to him on streams a couple. I go into his stream chat a couple times to talk to him. I'll ask him if we can get him for the election stream the next time I see he's. Like,
yeah, that would be sick. That would be extremely good.
I'll ask him. Then
Leo is a ear truther about Duppykins, the pierced ear.
Well, before
he doesn't.
We do have some.
Leo's getting back to streaming. I'm pretty sure. I'm looking through my chats with him, but I'm pretty sure he already said he would be cool with it. But
well,
Leo's been streaming. Leo's been doing the late night frights recently.
Yeah, the late night frights. Yeah, I've seen that too.
He does good streams. Actually, I like his streams a lot. They're very fun. Everyone, if you're not subscribed to Leo Pirate, I don't know how you found my channel. If you're not subscribed to Leo Pirate, go watch his stuff. Obviously,
Gamergate, okay. In honor of Gamergate.
In honor of the great, in honor of 10 years of Gamergate, Styx brought a Trunon for his debate stream. Apparently, I don't know what that means in the chat.
Oh no,
Leo's. I have to pay. I don't think. I don't know what that means. But, anyways, we should probably wrap it up, guys. Any closing comments before the end? Anyone want to make any closing comments before I wrap the night up?
Tucker, if you're listening. No, go ahead. Go ahead, Surfer. I'll round it out.
My only closing comment is here I am this whole time. I thought that Dup was a figure of speech. I thought that it was putting into sounds the action of the BTFO. I didn't know that Dup was actually Donald Trump until today.
Was his true name? It's my true name.
No, Dup is
the revelation of the method.
No, Dup is Donald Trump.
But now you know, sir. For now you know. Donald Dup, Duppy Trump.
Dup BTFO.
Tucker, all I'm saying is if you're listening, I know a guy, okay? And he's 5'2", and he has miraculous stories about Kamaldup to tell you.
Yeah.
All right? You have these other alien wackos out here, okay? You're going to hear the good word of the Long Johns. And Mormon Shaggy, hit me up as well. We are going to make it happen, okay?
I believe in you, man.
Make it fucking happen.
Weasel, any closing comments?
What?
Any closing? That's your closing comment, huh? That's a great way to end it. Huh?
I've spoken more than enough tonight.
Okay.
I believe people know the important lesson here is to not be a woman and also not be black.
It's so simple.
You're close, but actually the real lesson tonight is that Dup BTFO. Dup BTFO.
BTFO. Dup BTFO.
Really, though. I mean, it wasn't as much of a cakewalk as the Biden debate, but then, It wasn't.
Weasel, that was my ending the stream. That wasn't an invitation for you to continue rambling.
Wait,
no
I didn't get to even say bye to the chat.
Juice.
Bye, chat.
Juice.
Have a good night, guys.
Yeah, night, Surfer. Have a good one.
Godspeed, Surfer.
Night, everyone.
Juice, buddy.
Bye. Good night, everyone. We'll see you all later. You guys should go. I'm going to bed.
No, we're streaming for like 5 more minutes.
I'm not going to keep streaming. I'm going to go to bed. Good night.
That's okay. We're not expecting that. You have a good night.
Godspeed.
You guys have fun having E-sex in the stream VC by yourself. Okay?
Shut up.
Thanks.
Good night, everyone. Good night, everyone. Hope you have a good night. Thank you for all the help with the Gonzo film. I actually do appreciate it. But I don't know. I don't know if there's any other path besides contacting the family directly. So we'll see. But thank you for coming out, everyone. I will be doing more stuff, more streams, and more videos soon. So thank you all, and God bless.